nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get a witness. No!
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true. Sometimes I cry.
Oh! Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast. This is episode 1236. We're back again. Back here again. And I want to remind everyone, this is the second show of the week. We're at 25% of the goal. If anyone wants to help start the tip train, keep it rolling. We're already at 25%. We did a good job getting it to 25% during the last show. So I'm hoping we can end this one at least 50%. And you can do your part by contributing to the link in the chat right there. And I'm calling all of my stream donation links the Fuck Jared Fund. If you would like to contribute to the Fuck Jared Fund, you can donate to this link and it'll make Jared cry because Jared is so jealous that anyone is better at him in any single way, in any remote way. Even if you make $10 a year off of YouTube, you're already more successful than Jared. Like, you're already easily more successful than him. He thinks he's going to win by false striking multiple channels. He sent out 100 false DMCAs 2 days ago. I got 5 of them on my the Altered Perspective channel, and they've already all been kicked back to him. So that means now he has to take a shower, put a shirt on, put pants on, and ask his mom to drive him to the courthouse to file a lawsuit against me. Otherwise, all of those strikes are getting overturned.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Is he going to get a ride to the courthouse, Ben? Are you doomed?
Bro, I hope the reptilians eat Jared.
Oh, the reptilians are going to chew Jared up. My screen on Skype isn't coming through. It's like
I'll get it for you.
Gray thing.
Yeah, that happened to you last time. I don't know why. I'll try.
Yeah. The idea that Jared is gonna have to do anything to follow this up, I think, is a complete safe bet. That's not gonna happen.
Right.
Like, I'm surprised Jared made it to actually file 100 claims on his own.
But he's all
let alone
he did not do those.
with it.
He did not do those correctly either. Like, I got 5 of them from him, and most of them were like 30-second claims on like 30 seconds of my video, because he can't claim a whole thing because I'm constantly pausing him and talking over him and doing other shit.
Yeah.
And he has no case. He did successfully take down some other channels that just re-upload his shit. But my channel, he can't make the argument. It just doesn't work, and YouTube's not going to allow that. Because when you get a copyright claim, you file a counterclaim, and that claim goes to YouTube first, and they look at it. They look at all the information you provide. And then if it's bogus, they kick it back to you and they're like, nope, sorry, this is valid. But if it looks real, if your argument is solid, they kick it back to the other person, and it's up to them to literally take legal action against you. And I already said, like, a cease and desist order doesn't cost but a couple $100. If I need to, I will hire a lawyer in Jared's town and have a lawyer in Jared's town send a cease and desist letter to Jared's dad, because Jared's dad is the one responsible for this. Jared is a dependent of his dad. Jared is an adult dependent of his dad who pays for all of his shit. And ultimately, Jared's behavior is the responsibility of his parents because they give him the means to do what he does. And somehow I feel like if Jared's dad got a cease and desist letter from a lawyer, he might ground Jared from the internet again. Maybe. Possibly.
Wow.
Might happen.
Yeah. You better hope Jared can't afford
Jared
an $800 an hour
totally
attorney,
defeated
Ben.
DP. You
He
know
can't.
what I'm saying? Her. Jared. Also, fuck Jared.
Someone said
Revolt.
conservatorship? No. If someone lives at your house, they don't even have to be a family member and they don't have to be a minor. If they live with you and you provide for them, they're your dependent and you can file them on your taxes as a dependent. They just have to make under a certain amount of money a year. Jared makes none, and they have to live at your residence for more than 6 months out of the year. And that goes for like if you have like a loser friend that doesn't have a job that you support that lives at your place for more than half a year, you could file him as a dependent. If you have like a live-in romantic partner that's that you're not obviously you're not related to, they could be your dependent if they live with you and they don't have a job. Basically any person that you're not married to that lives with you and doesn't make X amount of money, you can file as a dependent on your taxes if you support them. So obviously Jared is supported. He's a dependent of his parents. So I hold them responsible. They provide the internet for him. They could take the internet away from him. He lives under their roof. But I don't think it's going to go much further. I think Jared's channel that he just somehow managed to get monetized. Actually, here's a weird thing. Jared, with less than 1,000 subs, just got monetized, and Brett Keane. I think they're going to lower the threshold. They just haven't announced it yet. But people with less than 1,000 subs have been getting like memberships and stuff.
It's about damn time. I think I have a couple of channels under 1,000 subs. I'm gonna become a fucking DP lolcow now.
So we're gonna check out something very interesting because there was a video put out about a week ago, but I've been
Jared to timeout.
Yes, please do. I've been holding on to this, waiting for a couple days to put this out. Let's react to this video. Here we go.
Before we start, should I restart my thing and see if that fixes the?
Yeah,
the
if you don't
screen?
see it, I can't tell if you don't see it. So yeah,
I'll pop out and right back.
All right. There you go.
There we go.
All right. So
Welcome to
here's the intro.
Turn off that goddamn internet.
Oh, don't touch me. Don't touch me. TP, are they going to touch me?
So some of you may be familiar with Maddox. He was a guest on Drunken Peasants a long time ago. And I'll get into his appearance on Drunken Peasants in a moment here, but I just want to play the video he just made. He hasn't made a YouTube video in a very long time, and he is going after Justin Whang, but I feel like the video's actually against Asterios, but he used Justin Whang to get more attention to the video because more people know who Justin Whang is than Asterios. And then after he baits everyone in with Justin Whang is a piece of shit, then he's like, also, let me tell you about this guy Asterios. Is kind of how I'm catching onto it here.
Yeah, it's like 25 plus minutes of him trying to pull taffy out of Wang.
Yeah.
Trying to make something bad out of what Wang did. And it's like, damn, that's a long ass time for this. And then it's like, but if you think that's bad, look at this guy that I couldn't use clickbait as a name.
Right.
But has done so much more. And now that you're here because you're like, what did Wang do? This is what Asterios did. You're like, oh, Asterios, he was funny?
Yeah. So, long story short, Maddox had a show called The Biggest Problem in the Universe with Dick Masterson. And Dick Masterson ended up dating some woman that Maddox had dated 3 years prior to that. And Maddox was so butthurt about it that he locked Dick Masterson out of all the accounts that their show was part of and took control of the show and basically never mentioned him again and acted like he never existed. And if anyone had a problem with that was part of the show, they were just gone after that. And what ended up happening was everyone turned against Maddox. Like, not literally everyone, but a huge portion of the fan base abandoned Maddox and went to Dick Masterson after this. And Asterios was part of the whole Dick show umbrella at that point. So Maddox is going to make this video here going after Justin Whang and Asterios for taking the Dick Masterson side publicly. But he's not going to mention Dick Masterson in this video. He's not going to mention the feud.
Burritos or sushi. Also hope you all are having a wonderful Thursday. Fuck chicos.
Sushi.
Burritos.
So that's basically what happened here. He's gonna not tell the whole story. He's not gonna tell why these guys. He's gonna position it as like, these guys just joined a hate mob against me. So without further ado, let's watch this.
There's a man on the internet. Memory. He's able to remember the names, dates, and
also
times
do
of
a
specific
sushi
events that occurred over
burrito.
30 years ago. He even remembers the names of news anchors on channels these events broadcast on, even though he was only a child when these events happened. He's also an incredible jumper who's able to jump on any bandwagon, no matter how small it is. But unfortunately, there's a dark side to this person. He's addicted to drama.
And we were talking about this in the pre-show before we were starting here. I don't know why he's wearing a witch hat. I get he's trying to be Justin Whang because of the long hair and the handlebar mustache, but I don't get...
I think I know why. I think he bought the witch hat with the wig thinking he could just throw the witch hat away. But when he opened it up, he realized the witch hat was connected to the wig. And so he was just kind of screwed and had to keep it.
Damn.
He spreads rumors about people he doesn't know with facts he doesn't have.
That's the
He
why.
does this in a secret bid to silence and deplatform people he doesn't like. For the first time ever, I'm about to expose who this person is and what he's been up to in the dark underbelly of the internet. Welcome to a very special Tales from the Internet. Welcome to the best show in the universe. I'm Maddox. I'm about to tell you a story of a YouTuber named Justin Whang. For those of you who don't know, Justin is a YouTuber, self-proclaimed internet historian, and tragically, a member of a nu metal band. And no, that's not just a joke. He really is a member of a nu metal band.
So he starts this video attacking the genre of music that this guy's in a band of. I don't really get it.
No,
but
Ben, that's not a joke. That's not a joke, Ben. He's really in a nu metal band.
I know he is. I almost went to see them, but their van broke down while they were on their way out here, and it just never happened.
They need a nu metal van.
Nu metal, also known as not metal,
Maddox
is the
also attempted to sue Asterios and Dick L for calling him a cuck in a Christmas-themed parody music album, and he used a made-up woman's persona to get Asterios fired from a job. Not a sweet boy.
Not a sweet boy.
That's not a sweet boy thing to do.
soundtrack of being grounded for not eating your vegetables. It's all the things you like from rap, and all the things you like from metal, left on the cutting room floor, so all you have left is crap. It's one of the only genres of music where the Wikipedia entry has an entire section dedicated to nu metal bands who insist they're not nu metal, including Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, and Stain.
Okay, Stained, I wouldn't call them nu metal. They're just shit.
In an artist direct interview, the vocalist for Stain said, if
Thank
we get called a nu metal
for speeding this up, Ben John F.
band one more time, I don't even know what I'm gonna do. Stain's Wikipedia page calls him a nu metal band. Even the bassist of Rage Against the Machine publicly apologized for Limp Bizkit, saying, I feel really bad that we inspired such bullshit. And Dave Mustaine of Megadeth said in an interview that he'd rather have his eyelids pulled out than listen to nu metal. But despite the genre being dead since 2000...
This is just so weird to start off your hit piece like this.
So I'm glad that he's got those Wikipedia references from bands having interviews that made millions of dollars 20 years ago to take Whang down. This is a thorough investigation into Whang. If you can go as far back as Wikipedia pages talking about interviews with bands completely disconnected to Whang, that's how you know Whang's been really freaking evil.
Yeah, it's sped up, guys. That's not hard to tell. Yeah, I sped it up. Everyone, please like the stream.
2009, Justin's new metal band still inexplicably exists. The band
Ooh, he put it in the trash can.
What?
It's called Jinx, and no, that's not named
That's
after the box-based
utter
Pokemon or the
disrespect.
children's game.
Jinx, you owe me a soda.
In an interview with the lead singer of Justin's band, the inspiration for the name came from his interest in witchcraft, and because he thinks that he has bad luck. Wow, that's pretty metal, I guess, because when I think of metal, I think of teenage girls casting
so
spells on each
that's
other.
why he's wearing the witch hat. Justin has an interest in witchcraft, Ben.
You're a witch!
That's why he's wearing the witch hat.
Yes, a band composed of a bunch of guys in their 30s took the concept of a jinx pretty seriously. This was literally the plot of an episode of How I Met Your Mother.
Jinx. Kids, you may be wondering why 5 adults in their 30s would take a jinx so seriously.
Good question. They call themselves new metal with a New York attitude and cite Limp Bizkit as one of their inspirations. At one point, Justin made a video spitting some hard truth about why your friends support more popular bands and not yours, saying something I actually agree with, that you should earn your fans.
Personally, when my band plays, I don't want them to come out to a show unless they're actually into the music. You gotta keep fucking working on it and not putting so much pressure on them to support you.
But because Justin is a giant hypocrite, he also says things like this.
Come see me on fucking tour, you fucking assholes.
I mean, he's still going to advertise his tour. That's not completely hypocritical.
What a complete hypocrite. How could Justin Whang do this?
You've been jinxed. Now, as much fun as it is to clown on bad music, the reason I'm mentioning it is because Justin has something else in common with shitty derivative rap rock, and that's shitty derivative YouTube channels. Justin is better known for his YouTube series called Tales from the Internet, where he chronicles famous people and events like he's some sort of historian of the internet, or internet historian, if you will, despite the fact that other channels were already doing the same thing. But more on that later. He first launched his channel by doing a series of Let's Play videos.
Other channels did the same thing Whang did?
Oh no!
Why would Whang do it then?
Drama YouTubers.
Why
are to
would
their
Whang
audience.
do it?
Pay attention. Basically, this person did something spooky and dark. Now wait 20 to 40 minutes so I can get my ad revenue so you can read 2 paragraphs of my copy-pasted Wikipedia article. Eat hello fret.
Some people like that. I'm watching Maddox complain about Whang being unoriginal. Maybe Maddox is the original person to do this because he's been around for so long. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But people do these complain pieces on YouTube all the time. Why would Maddox do this if other people have complained on YouTube before? What's the point?
To get any traction because they were indistinguishable from the many other Let's Play videos out there, save for the fact that he occasionally drinks with his pinky out. And when people weren't interested in watching him play video games in his depressingly dark room,
it's kind of boring.
He resorted to the lazy comedic device that's a last resort for every hack comedian and YouTuber when they don't have a personality, getting drunk. While it can sometimes work, it only works when the underlying person or material is funny, not because of the alcohol, but usually...
No, I disagree completely. Getting drunk is always funny.
In spite of it. But unfortunately, Justin
wow,
isn't funny.
I can see the connection here. It's just a bunch of alcoholics in dark rooms, pissants, drunken pissants, and up against a cool, well-versed, and intellectual Maddox. Wow, that's the problem.
Is comprised of 1-second callbacks where he points out something he just said.
Well, what it actually refers to is groping. I like how I put my hands to the camera.
Wait, this room isn't depressingly dark. Why is Whang in a room that's not depressingly dark? What happened? Maddox just told me Whang streams from a room that's depressingly dark.
And this really bad impression of Trump, I guess. I don't even know who he's parodying.
Emails, Aleppo. What the hell is Aleppo anyway? I thought this was America. We don't speak no Italian here.
And to make things worse, his videos are punctuated with a lack of polish that simultaneously comes across as lazy and contemptuous of his audience. For example, he forgot...
You can't understand it? I can understand it just fine.
Just because you're smarter than Horse Puncher, Ben, doesn't mean the Horse Puncher is completely fucking stupid.
Is it too fast?
I can follow it, but I don't know. There's multiple people in here asking where they're at and what hit them. If Maddox talking fast is indescribable, I guess maybe that's like a dog whistle. Maybe only dogs can hear Maddox this fast.
You guys are fucking crybabies.
We got the
while recording.
Ben, only dogs can hear Maddox.
Okay, let's do this.
We got the dog in us. We got the dog in us, Ben.
And this has happened multiple times.
Okay, cool.
Booty Pie, I'm not fucking Sam Hyde. I'm fucking nobody. Oh, I forgot to turn my phone off again. But yeah, I'm just white supremacist Nazi.
What?
I guess I should have turned my fucking phone off again. I'm a fucking popular guy. You know, it's
awesome.
Whang left his phone on and didn't edit it out?
Yep.
This is cringe. Maddox has owned Whang once again.
I
Fuck, Maddox is so good.
Maddox is extremely long-winded. He should be sped up.
Nope, all the crybabies got their way.
Constantly cracks himself up while mispronouncing Spanish words, but he decided to include this nauseating take where he starts wheezing and coughing on camera. I've sped up some of the laughing to make it slightly less unbearable.
Wait, pause.
Oh no, this part is sped up.
Maddox sped this up. We have to slow Maddox down now.
Wait it. Like on me.
Then after this train wreck of a video, he thought it was such a
he
good
slowed
idea
down the cough
that he decided to make it a regular series.
I feel like this is going to be a recurring series, so if you guys have any words that you want to hear me pronounce in any fucking language that isn't English, by all means, let me know.
Yeah, I've got one for you, Justin. Try aburrido. Eres aburrido. Suffice it to say that these videos didn't take off. Nothing seemed to be working on Justin's
Happy
channel, so
birthday
what
to
do you...
Stephen Dawson. Ding dong, baby.
Ding dong,
also,
baby.
fuck Maddox and double fuck Jared. That's what's up.
There you go. Thank you for donating to the Fuck Jared
you
fund.
when you're not funny, not interesting.
So
and
Maddox wanted him to say aburrido. Now, for those of you that don't know, it's not a burrito, the superior food to sushi. It's aburrido is Spanish for bored. So I think Maddox is suggesting that Whang is boring.
Not original enough for people to care about who you are, you talk about someone who is. So Justin jumped on the drama bandwagon. From Pro Jared to James Charles to Adam Saleh to H3H3 and PewDiePie, there isn't a bandwagon too big or too small for Justin to jump on. He even made a video series where he went after content creators and comedians for allegedly stealing jokes and memes, like he was some sort of content cop. If that sounds familiar, that's because there's already a popular web series by iDubbbz called Content Cop, which is a more nuanced, clever, and tongue-in-cheek series than Justin's shitty imitation. But that's not where the similarities end, because Justin even shamelessly...
Score for iDubbbz.
Does iDubbbz has iDubbbz ever...
Team iDubbbz.
Has iDubbbz ever said they have a problem with this? Or no?
Yes, iDubbbz specifically hired Maddox to be a content cop against Whang because this is content cop that Maddox is doing while he's saying Whang was copying content cop.
He called his video Meme Police. Ah yes, let's look up a synonym for the word cop and nobody will notice. Good job, Justin, I think it worked. Except even this seems lifted straight from iDubbbz's video because he literally has a content police sketch. Oops. This is some high school level plagiarism where you just change a few words.
Oops.
One of his first Meme Police videos was about comedian Rob Schneider and how he allegedly stole a joke from a meme.
And if it does sound kind of familiar, it's because he stole that fucking joke from a meme that was being shared around at least 3 days before he tweeted that.
Justin doesn't provide any evidence that he stole the joke. His only argument is that he saw a similar meme posted earlier. So he concluded that Rob Schneider must have seen the same meme that Justin saw and therefore stole the joke. How likely is it to have happened? Well, it's hard to tell because the original tweet was deleted. But since the possibility exists, that was apparently good enough for Justin to accuse Schneider of joke theft.
People have this idea that just because they saw a joke inside of a picture as a caption that it's suddenly free reign for them to steal it and passes it off as their own. For him to do this hack bullshit, he needs to be called the fuck out.
Justin doesn't give Schneider the benefit of doubt or consider the possibility that two people could have come up with the exact same joke independently. In fact, he feels so strongly about content theft that he's harped on about it in several videos.
Content theft is fucking horseshit. There's just something about, actual content theft that just
Whang's obviously doing a drunk stream right here. He's got the cup in his hand. He's slurring his words. He's drunk. This isn't like an edited video that Whang put together to make a statement. This is him just talking and riffing. And he's talking about content theft while being drunk. Yeah, content theft is shitty.
Yeah, now excuse me while I play more of this content.
The point is I fucking can't stand content theft.
So it came as a surprise when I saw this tweet of Justin's not too long ago. It had over 6,000 retweets and 42,000 likes.
Not too long ago? You saw this 4 years ago?
Legitimately viral tweet. Good job, Justin. Except Justin didn't come up with that joke. And the reason I know is because it's actually funny. This joke was written in 2014 by a guy named Jay Branscombe, and it was very popular with over 43,000 shares and 17,000 likes on Facebook alone. So if the pre-existence of a much less popular meme was enough for Justin to conclude that Rob Schneider was a joke thief, then judging by his own criteria, we have to conclude that Justin must have stolen this joke. But still, you might be thinking, well, maybe he didn't see it. Maybe we should give him the benefit of doubt, even though he didn't extend that same courtesy to Rob Schneider. So how likely was it that Justin saw this joke somewhere else before
How can he do this to Rob Schneider?
Yeah, fuck Rob Schneider. He sucks.
How could he do this? How could Whang do this to poor Rob Schneider?
The star of Deuce Bigalow, the greatest film ever. The Citizen Kane.
And Deuce Bigalow, too, European gigolo.
Well, it's hard to say, but there was this article about it in the Huffington Post. Now, I know what you're thinking. Nobody reads the Huffington Post, especially not a hard rock and nu metal boy like Justin. But then there was also this article about it in USA Today. Well, sure, maybe Justin didn't see that article either. But then there was this one from Business Insider, and this one from Hollywood Reporter, and this one from The Guardian, and the LA Times, and the New York Daily News, and Fox 8, and AV Club, and E, and National Post, WGN, and Daily
Justin Whang,
campaign because
how
I want
could
to
you?
fuck Jared. Fuck him deeply in his fat ass. I'm gonna give him the second most painful orgasm he's ever had.
Yes.
Teddy, that's not the type of fuck we were talking about.
Help us get to 50% because fuck Jared.
So wait a second. What Maddox is telling us now is not only did Whang steal this meme years after somebody else did it, but he did it when it had already gone viral on multiple websites, thus becoming what an actual meme is. And when you share an actual meme, it's because it can no longer be attributed to one person, so it can't be stolen because it belongs to everybody. How could you, Whang? How could you?
You didn't create that meme.
This is the most nitpicking I've ever seen. This is nitpicking extravaganza from Maddox.
Well, he's
King nitpick right here.
He's trying to find a way to work Whang into this because Whang gets attention. So, and then he's like, "Oh, by the way,
here's
Swang
here's the difference.
Nature Whang a lang a ding dong making copies.
Wang like a ding dong making copies. What's wang like a ding dong making copies? So what Whang did here is he took something that had gone viral for years and became a meme, and he reposted it after it had already been memey. This was the original was 2014. It was on multiple websites. He posted it in 2019. It had been in the universe. It had been public domain at that point. He probably wouldn't know who to attribute it back to originally anyways. Made the joke, made the meme. He reposts memes often. Rob Schneider apparently took it while it was brand new, tried to cut out the spread of it, and then deleted it in response because he realized what he did in that moment was taking it away from the original poster and was shitty. Like either way, whatever, steal it. People steal memes all the time. But it is what it is. It sucks, but I mean, memes also kind of suck at the base. They're everybody being funny off the one person's idea by resharing them anyways. I don't know. Like it's not that big of a deal that Rob Schneider did it, in my opinion. I wouldn't do it, but maybe I would and not even care and notice or think about it. But it's definitely not anything that Whang did this. And it's very weird that Maddox decided to pick up all this old stuff and pick it apart like he's holding Whang to the fire. This is weird.
Fox 6 and BuzzFeed and Express.co.uk and the Hindu Times, Thought Catalog, ABC 10, The Independent, CTV News, Psychology Today. There have been over 50 articles written about this one joke alone. In fact, it was so popular that it was even covered on a number of news programs.
Steven Spielberg is at the center of a viral photo controversy after an internet humorist posted this photo of the director to Facebook.
So it's just surprising that someone like Justin, in all his years on the internet as an internet historian, somehow missed all these people sharing this original meme and this news program or any of the more than 50 articles. But what makes it especially difficult to get someone like...
Or Maddox, maybe you're missing the fact that he was adding to the joke that Spielberg killed a dinosaur and so many people believed it. 5 years later, he reposted it because he's an internet historian as a joke in reference to the meme itself. Are you missing that? Or are you really trying to fucking pin him to the wall when you're missing the actual joke of him reposting it?
Justin the benefit of doubt is that he's positioned himself as some kind of meme smith.
Who I consider myself a bit of a meme smith.
In fact, he was interviewed about the history of memes on one of the most authoritative websites when it comes to memes, and even KnowYourMeme.com literally has an archive of this exact meme. Oops. When it comes to accusing others of stealing jokes, he has an encyclopedic memory of memes. But when it comes to his own joke theft, his memory gets a little foggy.
It's not stealing. The joke is him reposting it 5 years later after the thing had blown up as a reference to the memory of the fucking meme. It's literally him posting that is him dragging out the idea that people are going to believe. They're going to believe that Steven Spielberg hunted a dinosaur. The fact that people believed it in the beginning means when he posted that, it's a continuation of the meme. It's a reference. It's funny. It's living. It's a living joke. You can't steal it. You're adding on. Maddox might actually be a poor, hurt, broken-brained person. I feel bad for him now. He can't be either. He's doing this in bad faith, or he's actually dumb.
The first one.
The most sanctimonious people who are the ones who are guilty of the thing that they claim to be so against.
And what's especially egregious about Justin's hypocrisy is that he has the audacity to complain about how unfair it is when a bigger person steals a smaller person's work.
The idea that, especially like when you're not that big and you're trying to grow, that someone who is much larger than you can take your fucking work and really, without fucking consequence, you'll be forgotten about.
This is Justin's Twitter following, and this is Jay Branscom's. In another Meme Police video, a video series that's totally original and not a ripoff, Justin harps on a guy named Liam Deneen for posting memes to promote himself, and he complains because he doesn't know who he is. Justin also criticized this guy for allegedly stealing content, posting granny memes, and using these memes on his Instagram page to grow his fan base.
But first I go to this Instagram page, and the Instagram page is just the same fucking memes that are on his Facebook page. He's just some dude that's become wildly popular for posting really bad fucking memes.
So it came as a surprise when I looked at Justin's Instagram page and saw hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of memes that Justin has posted without credit or attribution. Now, I get it, it's sometimes very difficult, if not impossible, to track down the source of every meme you see, let alone share on the internet. I try my best, but I'm sure
not only that, you don't have to credit people for memes. Memes exist because they become bigger than the person who posted them. Memes exist because people wanted to be the class clown, but didn't have the comedic intelligence to do so. So they just said, oh, you made that? No, I made that. And they reposted it. If you see a meme, the chances it came from the original creator of the meme are slim to none.
Very slim.
And resharing the meme, if you credit the person who stole it, you're a bigger idiot than that. You can't credit people with memes almost 99.9% of the time. It's not possible.
Justin, however, is the self-appointed meme police, and he keeps harping on and on about how much he hates content theft. So it comes as a surprise that he calls out so many other people while seemingly doing the exact same thing. Even Liam Deneen posts sources and credits on some of his memes, but not Justin. He rarely credits any of his memes on his Instagram account. Among the thousands he's posted,
he hardly ever credits them.
Dude, our guy Hannibal needs that. Is that Hannibal's? He needs that.
It's like a Jason Voorhees mask.
Yeah, we need to get that for Hannibal.
Even credit ones that are easy to find. Then he has the audacity to criticize people for posting granny memes while posting memes like this, and this, and this, which is literally a granny meme. But Justin's hypocrisy doesn't end there because he also criticizes...
You know who is the actual meme police? You know who is the actual meme police? It's the viewer. And the meme will die if it sucks. Like Justin playing meme police is him being critical of memes that he thinks sucks. And him posting memes that Maddox thinks sucks. At the end of the day, you figure out if they suck by if people share them or not.
He hasn't made a point yet. I don't think
Justin's hurting. Well, his point is that Justin is stealing memes.
Yeah, that's not a point at all.
As people for posting jokes that are too similar to ones they already posted.
You ever have that corny friend that they'll try to make jokes all the fucking time and nobody laughs except for maybe one time a fucking year they say something actually funny, everyone laughs, and then they try to capitalize on it. They can't, like, let it die. They gotta make another version of the same fucking joke.
But there are dozens of examples of him posting the same joke repeatedly on his Instagram account. Sometimes he posts the exact same one with slight variations over and over and over again. In fact,
yeah, isn't that how memes
what
work?
A meme is.
Yeah.
Memes are living jokes. When there's an updated one, it's funny again because it's an updated version of the same reference. This is okay. So Maddox comes from a part of the internet which amazingly
Maddox
existed
has
before
no room to
memes
speak.
did.
He's just an
He doesn't
indie
understand
meme
them.
knockoff.
Poor Andy. Poor Maddox Rooney.
Yeah.
sometimes he even posts the exact same meme twice, just a few months apart. Of course, both times without credit.
Well, I consider myself
without credit. I don't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Memes.
How could you not? Look, how could you not credit these memes?
I get it. Memes are ubiquitous, and almost everyone posts them from time to time, myself included. It's hard to track down every single meme, and I'm sure I've posted a few without proper attribution, but I do my best, and I post credits whenever I can.
Yeah, you do your best. That's the thing. You don't have to do your best when sharing memes. It goes against the point of memes. Memes are not, they don't exist because someone is a creator and artist. They exist because somebody is a cultivator of fine memes. It's like a sommelier. They don't make the wine. They tell you how to pair it up. These people are fucking joke sommeliers. They don't write the fucking jokes. They find them, they cultivate them, and they spam them on their fucking meme groups. It's like, I come from a time of the internet where you credit people for memes, so I try my hardest. I don't always credit people for memes. Sometimes I just can't do it. But Whang should.
But it's a different story when you harangue other people for doing it.
Everyone, please like the stream if you haven't already. Let's get it up over 100 likes. Thank you.
When you're doing the exact same thing. In recent years, some big Instagram accounts have been accused
Is he
of
doing the
plagiarism
exact
for using
same
memes.
thing? Is Whang doing the exact same thing as Rob Schneider did? I don't think so. But I honestly didn't follow the Rob Schneider thing much longer than what Maddox explained. But it seems like Rob Schneider stole a joke as it was being updated, as it was being seeing growth, and then he deleted it because he got flack for it. That seems to be what happened. What Whang did is nothing close to that.
To grow their audiences without giving credit to the creators. Justin's done the same thing. He's not just some kid sharing memes on the internet. He's amassed over 75,000 followers on Instagram alone without giving many of these creators proper credit. Now you might be thinking, but Maddox, they're just memes, so what? And you're right, it wouldn't matter so much except he's promoting his brand and merchandise alongside these memes, so he's making money using other people's content. You would think that someone who deputized himself as the meme police and is doing interviews on meme websites would hold himself to a higher standard. I wonder if he's ever said anything about
I don't know why they would.
Stand and act morally superior while doing the exact same thing.
Is Maddox a shirt stealing the I identify as an attack helicopter meme? How could Maddox do this?
What? And you know what's crazy is all these meme channels, they do the exact same thing. They post all these memes, and then every 7 memes, they push a fucking t-shirt. That's like how these meme channels work.
Stand, acts like you're morally superior to someone, meanwhile you're basically doing the same fucking thing that they did.
On September 10th, 2017, Justin finally made his first relatively successful video, and it was successful because it had nothing to do with him. It was about some supposed drama between H3H3 and Sam Hyde. It was, in his own words, the most growth he'd seen on his own channel in a single month.
That shit was amazing for my channel. This is probably the most growth I've ever had in a single fucking month.
So this is a 2017 video?
Yes.
Maddox is going back to 2017, and in 8 years of Whang existing on the internet, he is nitpicking the weakest fucking points to call out.
I've also seen...
How did he follow all these points?
I've also seen evidence to suggest that Maddox has been working on this video for several years. People have been posting shit out there that suggests he's been talking about working on this video for quite some time.
Is that once you get a taste of that sweet drama juice, it becomes addictive. You either have to keep finding drama or making it to feed the content beast. As soon as someone draws a little blood, all the rats come out, and it's fucking disgusting because all these fucking people are grasping at straws. But don't take my word for it. Those are literally Justin's words.
As soon as someone draws.
Wait, don't take my word for it. That's from Reading Rainbow. Maddox just ripped off Reading Rainbow. How's he gonna say that Whang? How's he gonna say that Whang rips off anybody when he just ripped off Reading Rainbow?
Rats come out. We all need that sweet drama juice to drive our channels. I could see why the drama juice is so fucking addictive, but it's fucking disgusting. It's fucking disgusting because all these fucking people now, they're grasping at straws.
You're talking about yourself. You're talking about yourself, you astounding hypocrite. He even said it again in another video in a moment of mind-numbing lack of self-awareness.
Now you're starved for content. You got a big growing fan base and you're chasing those fucking likes. You need to feed the content beast. That's fucking sick.
Now remember that clip
how many people actually watch Whang and think of him as a drama commentary content channel? I'm pretty sure most people watch Whang and think of him as weird, like gross internet history stuff.
Yes.
That's where I know Whang the most from.
Yes.
So it's like, sure, maybe he's dabbled in things that he took interest to and got him some views that he thought might make a good video.
He's a fan of, he was a fan of The Biggest Problem, and he was a fan of The Dick Show, so he made videos about the LOL suit. Yeah. So he doesn't normally make drama content. A lot of it, like I watched one about whether or not Hulk Hogan was actually a good bass player. He made a whole thing about that. Because like Hulk Hogan claimed Metallica wanted him to be the bass player, but then Whang like looked into it and found like a couple instances where Hulk Hogan actually got on stage and played bass with people and was competent playing it. So yeah.
Be referencing it later. Once he exploited the drama for all it was worth, he turned his attention to Tales from the Internet, a series where he delves into popular events and people online. So another series where it's popular not because of him, but in spite of him. One of his most popular videos is about the Max Headroom incident from the 80s, where someone jammed a signal of a TV broadcast in Chicago. That much is fairly common knowledge.
You better not tell me, did that son of a bitch Whang jam the signal and do the Max Headroom thing just so he could report on it 20 years later?
For example, anyone who says living the dream when you ask them how their day is should cite the originator of the phrase, Glenn Charles. Love you, sweet boys. Miss you.
Is that really Joe? Is that really Joe?
I don't know. Was it?
If that's really Joe, I literally live in the same house as Joe, and I also miss him.
But what isn't common
Love you too, Joe.
is all the detail Justin goes into. He cites specific names,
Chuck Swirsky, John McDougal, Captain Midnight,
dates,
October of 2015, 2010,
call letters,
WGN TV, WTTW TV,
an ad campaign,
the new Coke.
That's the way, Coke.
And even seemed to recognize the theme song to an old cartoon from the late 1950s.
Note that the song he's singing here is the theme song from an old cartoon called Clutch Cargo.
Clutch Cargo.
The only thing Justin doesn't cite are sources, at least for the first 4 minutes and 10 seconds of the video. While Justin does use news clips at the start of his video, those clips are over 30 years old. So the only way he could have known that those clips existed was if he read someone else's research. Well, you might be thinking that maybe Justin might have just known this information from memory. Except this incident occurred in 1987, and according to this website, Justin was born in 1984, which means that he was just 3 years old when it happened. So that means either
why does Justin Whang need to cite news articles or people that brought up news articles? Why would you have to cite any of this? Like we're in big trouble if we have to cite where we get our information from, Ben. Oh my goodness. I'm glad Maddox isn't the information police.
I think he is.
Remember all those names, dates, and times 30 years later to make a video about it, or that he's a plagiarist. Plagiarism is when you present someone else's work, ideas, or research as your own. According to Evidence Explained, this includes changing a few words, changing the sentence structure, or using synonyms, like he did with Meme Police. Most of Justin's video is full of research that he didn't come up with. Now you might be thinking that some of these are basic facts, and they are. For instance, we know that an incident occurred, but most people wouldn't be able to recognize specific details like the theme song that was hummed from an obscure cartoon from the 1950s. Someone else did that research and put all those pieces together, and it sure as shit wasn't Justin. For most of the video, Justin rattles off details about the event, giving the impression that his video is very well researched.
This isn't your fucking English class report. You don't have to cite references on YouTube or you'll get a failing grade. That's not how any of this works.
No.
If it was how this worked, maybe people would do it. But none of this is how this works. It's crazy that Maddox is like, by the way, I'm holding you to 5th grade English report standards for your channel that's made you a career and made you a ton of money and given you fans and admiration and a beautiful fucking life to live. You didn't do your 5th grade homework though.
I want to see your bibliography.
And
it takes these backsies, or else I want that bibliography.
Him. Since there have been dozens of articles and videos made about this over the years, it's hard to tell exactly which he used since he doesn't credit most of his sources. For example, there are sections in Justin's video that seem to lift exact quotes and in the exact same sequence as a WFLD broadcast by Jack Conity.
And this time there was audio.
By this time, the pirate had managed to insert audio.
Now you might be wondering, aren't these just basic facts? Wouldn't everyone report them the exact same way? No. In fact, here are 4 different broadcasts covering the same event, focusing on different observations, details, and phrasing, because none of them were plagiarized, unlike Justin's. Other than
this is like psychotically nitpicky. This is psychotically nitpicky. This is absolutely crazy. This man who said that this thing that was eerily similar to what Justin Whang said, but that 4 other people said differently, obviously is plagiarism. There is no way you should be taking 5 minutes of a video to paint Whang as a bad guy with this information.
And this isn't even about Whang.
I'm Whang's friend. I love him. And I think I could make a 5-minute hit piece against Whang that would make him look so much worse than this. I'd obviously lie a little bit in it, but it would be so much better.
Most of Justin's video seems cobbled together using bits and pieces of different articles written by other people that he only credits one time, despite the fact that he uses huge chunks of it for his video. For example, this article by Chris Nittell seems to be his primary
autism.
Source.
It's a theme song from
this is weapons grade autism.
Clutch Cargo.
And at one point, he even used the exact same footage from a commercial that was referenced in the article.
At the time of this hack, the real Max Headroom was the spokesperson for
Look,
the new
everybody in the chat is making fun of me because I love Whang. I don't just love Whang, I love Dick too.
Whang's sources. How dare he research without
I love Whang, I love Dick.
Source.
And I'll be honest with you, when I met Maddox, he was very kind and sweet to me. I don't even dislike Maddox. But this right here is kind of psychotically over the top.
I found 4 different Coke commercials that Justin could have used to make his point, but he lazily didn't do his research and just used Chris's work without giving him credit. Finally, after 4 minutes and 10 seconds of Justin pilfering research from this article, he finally cites his source, but that doesn't happen until after he's already used much of it earlier in the video without credit, and even then, he only cites it for a small portion, giving the impression that everything that came before it was his original research when it wasn't.
According to Vice Motherboard, the Eric Fournier theory is as follows.
So you might be wondering, why does any of this matter? Well, it's because plagiarism is theft, and for a guy who supposedly hates content theft so much, he sure does seem to do a lot of it. But maybe the reason Justin doesn't cite
this wouldn't hold up in front of a jury.
His source is because if he did, his video...
Not only in front of a jury, I don't think the people that originally did these things that Maddox is saying Whang stole from, I don't think they would even reference it as being taken from them. Like nobody would be like, oh well, I said this part the same way Whang said it. And Whang definitely robbed me. Like nothing that Whang is doing here is original enough to be considered theft. It's probably he probably watched this and took these things from it to tell the story he wanted to in his video. He probably did, but nobody would be like, "Oh my God, that was my daringly original content that Whang absolutely fucking copied," except Maddox, who has no dog in the race other than to try and make Whang look like a bad guy.
It would sound like this.
And it's all with the purpose of making Asterios look like a bad guy.
That's okay, Ben. Maddox is used to his arguments being rejected in court.
That is true. That is true.
Ouch! Ouch, Eric! Eric, I know you paid $10 to say that, but that was $100 fucking ouch right there.
Yeah.
That was a $100 ouch. Ouch. You got a 10 times return on that dono, dude.
Motherboard, the anchor, Dan Roan, had this to say. According to Vice Motherboard, the real Max Headroom was the spokesperson. According to Vice Motherboard, the song he's singing here is the theme song.
The guy who wrote this article did all the hard work of tracking down interviews, trawling through archive footage, and he even filed a Freedom of Information request through the FBI. Justin then came along and skimmed off the top of his work for a shitty YouTube video where he even got some major facts wrong. At one point in his video, Justin flat out...
How often does the news copy other news without referencing the other news articles?
All the time.
This is a regular occurrence. It's ridiculous that he's trying to hold Wang to the coals for this. You know, Wang read a news article and took some information from the news article to make his video without crediting WNBC.
WNBC.
30 plus years later, he still hasn't been caught. But there are a few suspects.
No, there are not.
The real smoking gun in this case.
There is no smoking gun in this case because there is no case. There are no leads, there are no suspects, none, period. The person who did this is still at large, end of story. For over 10 minutes in his video, Justin casually implicates innocent people of crimes with penalties of up to $100,000 and a year in prison. This includes one guy who not only had the inability to pull this off, but he wasn't even able to defend himself because he's dead.
Eric himself isn't able to deny this theory as he passed away in 2010. According to Vice Motherboard,
for the last 7 minutes of the video, Justin reads a Reddit article where someone mistakenly thought the culprit was someone he met at a party, but it turns out he was wrong. Justin inexplicably decided to include this in his video anyway, despite the fact that the very Reddit post he's reading from has an update stating very clearly that these people are officially eliminated as suspects. But instead of omitting this bogus lead, Justin decided to keep it in and
He hasn't even gotten to his point yet.
Glossed over the fact that they've been cleared, almost like it's an afterthought at the end of his video.
If the information they gave
Okay, so he does say they've been cleared. So it does say they've been cleared. So what he's doing is, as he's telling the tale of the internet story as it unraveled on the internet, Maddox. Justin isn't a news channel. He's a evergreen content channel. He's telling the story of this internet moment as it unraveled. Just because it was later updated doesn't mean he needs to start with the fucking update. He actually has to end with it because people who were in the moment living this didn't realize that till the end. I don't think Maddox understands what type of content Justin makes.
I think he's pretending not to understand.
I think that's part of the problem. He might be pretending. He might be acting 100% in bad faith, or he could be very, very, very stupid.
Very low
K
IQ.
and K can't possibly be the suspects.
Of course, saying that there are suspects makes the video sound more exciting, like there's an active case with leads, clues, and evidence, and that the culprit could be caught any day now. But unfortunately, none of that is true. This video is misleading and irresponsible. This entire 10-minute section of Justin's video could have been boiled down to this. So
pause, Ben, pause. He's literally complaining about a 10-minute chunk of Justin's video being boiled down to something way smaller when he just did 15 fucking minutes that could be boiled down to sometimes Justin says things that sound like other people says without attributing it to any sort of fucking source. He's literally stretching the shit out of this right now, doing far worse with this nothing topic, this nothing evidence, and this is what he comes up with while doing exactly what Wang did, not even exactly, while doing a piss poor, actual bastardized version of what he's accusing Wang of doing, when Wang was just telling a story and the story played out better with the update being at the end like updates usually are. Holy shit, dude. He can't be acting in bad faith. He has to be this dumb.
I don't know.
He has to be this dumb.
Turned out they weren't the guys. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe for new videos every. Since Justin didn't credit most of his sources, I tracked down as many as I could and listed them here. As for the news footage used in Justin's video, he doesn't explicitly credit the website. The watermark was added by the Museum of Classic Chicago Television, and it's the source for most of his news footage, but Justin doesn't even link to them from the video description. Fuzzy Memories is run by volunteers who tirelessly archive lost footage from old VHS tapes, and they deserve some credit for their hard work, including the footage I used in this video. Since Justin didn't link to them, I will. You can support them here.
Oh no!
Perhaps another reason Justin didn't credit all his sources is because if he did, we'd see that most of his video isn't his content. If you isolate just the parts where Justin talks without using other people's content, it's only 2 minutes and 53 seconds of his 13-minute video of his own original content.
Okay, who cares?
And that's being generous because I included
Maddox
the time.
has no idea. Maddox has no idea that transformative content exists on YouTube. This is like literally the most of YouTube content probably is worse than that.
Isn't he using someone else's content to make his content here?
Yeah, but if you cut down how much of his bloviating was in here, he's probably over the 50% mark, his bloviating versus the content he's using of other people's stuff. It's very rich that he's doing exactly what what Whang was doing, but calling Whang out for it. It's very rich.
Spent plugging his channel at the end. So nearly 11 minutes of his 13-minute video are other people's content. These truly are tales from the internet. Since most of Justin's video consists of other people's content, I've decided to make a template video that anyone can use to make your very own Tales from the Internet videos. And yes, this is real. Just replace the parts where Justin is talking, which isn't much, and you can use the rest of his video almost verbatim because it's not his content. If he's going to use other people's content, you can too. Except I've provided sources for you to use so it's not plagiarized. Link is in the description. Send me your videos and I'll shout out the best ones.
I don't even know what this is trying to prove.
It's all about shitting on Asterios. It's all ultimately getting to Asterios and shitting on him.
He's like, hey guys, look how easy it is to make this content that Whang made. Yeah, tons of people on YouTube do this. Whang was successful at it. Whang cultivated an audience that likes him. Like if you could copy Whang beat for beat and be as successful as Whang, good. People do this to Mr. Beast all the time, the #1 YouTuber. There's an entire economy of people who copy Mr. Beast beat for beat to get clicks in the algorithm to copy him. It's part of the YouTube economy. It's ridiculous that he's trying to content cop Whang on this like very low level bullshit.
And in case you're wondering, this wasn't just a shitty video I cherry-picked from his library. This kind of hacky bullshit is all over his channel. For example, in another Tales from the Internet, he tries to find out who made the Italian version of an anime theme song. And of course, it's chock full of more plagiarism. For example, watch Justin's eyeline carefully around the 7-minute and 54-second mark.
Raggi Fotonichi is an Italian band that specializes in covers of cartoon theme songs.
Did you catch it? Here it is again in case you missed it.
Cartoon theme songs.
Cartoon theme songs.
Nice.
He looked down at his
Let's
dick.
play a quick game. I want you to guess what Justin is looking down at this point in the video.
His erection.
It's his dick. It's got to be his dick.
Is it
It's got to be, right?
his
It's
own
gotta be,
original
man.
script that he wrote after doing tireless research and becoming deeply familiar with the subject matter so that he was able to paraphrase and share his own original thoughts and findings with you? Or B, some shit he plagiarized from a post he found on Reddit? If you guessed A, you are absolutely incorrect, you fucking idiot. Of course it's B. You should have guessed that based on the content.
Dick.
In the rest of this video. Justin plagiarized from this post on Reddit almost verbatim.
Raggi Fotonichi is an Italian band that specializes in covers of
cartoon theme songs.
In 2007, they released an album called Gente di Cartunia. The 4th track on this album
This is just information. This is just information. Justin is reading information.
No, you must scramble this information.
This is the most nitpicky thing I think I've ever seen. This is amazing to me. I'm actually very impressed at how little is being stretched to try and denigrate Justin here.
A cover of Lamou's theme song.
The account for the person in the original thread was deleted, so I looked up an archive to find out it was written by a Reddit user named
Wang
Lisa
didn't even
Feisserum.
word for word copy the highlighted parts. He had a slight variation on them. It wasn't even a word for word copy. And Maddox is holding him to the fire like he's got him, dude. He's like, it's like when you walk in on your uncle with having sex with your dog and you're like, dude, I got you. Family dinner's going to be dumb without you. This is obsessive. This is obsessive nitpicking. I actually, you know what? This is actually scary. This is stalkerish levels of obsessive nitpicking.
No, he's the one that stalked.
The sweet boys should
I
get
don't know,
Wang
man.
or Asterios on the show soon to get their response to this video.
I've seen
And fuck
Wang
Ken Burns
respond
too,
to it on Twitter.
plagiarizing the Vietnam War.
Damn,
we're plagiarized.
We're already at almost 42%, and we're only an hour into the show. Thank you guys. Help us get to 50%. We appreciate it.
All the hard work of.
And this is while we're using Maddox's block list for donos too.
Ha! Oh, I'm gonna get into that.
Not just summarizing the information from a thread in a different forum, but then translating it from Italian, not Justin. It took me just a few minutes of research to find this, and I couldn't care less about this dorklord anime bullshit. I literally did more research on this part of the video than Justin. That's research he should have done, but didn't. Instead, he plagiarized this post almost beat for beat for this entire video.
Before him, Mirko had hoped that laying claim to the
Why does
song
he
would
think Wang should do anything more than that for his video? Why is he trying to hold Wang to some sort of internet standard on YouTube? This is not an internet standard that YouTube or anybody that I know holds YouTubers to. Wang, if you want to point out lazy YouTubers that have millions of fucking views and tons of money and get and rip off worse than Wang, there's a huge list. The only reason he's nitpicking obsessively about Wang is because he has a vendetta that he wants to fucking try and rectify, and I don't think this is gonna work.
Well, if he titled the video "Asterios is a piece of shit," people would be like, "Who's Asterios?" Like a lot of people would be anyway. But way more people know who Justin Whang is, so that's the whole
Our
thing.
audience would be like, "We love Asterios.
Yeah,
he's
they
so
do.
sweet, and he has to lock his weed away because he's psychotic."
true creator to come out of hiding. Constantino's lawyer got involved and said that the song was already a part of the show in Polonia 1 in Poland. This is a Polish TV station that was founded by Italians and often runs the Italian versions of anime. Furthermore, anime fans from Poland said that the show never aired over there.
And it's not just old videos either. Here's a relatively recent sponsored video he made where he seems to lift huge chunks of it from a Medium article. So he's making money off of other people's content. I've only included a few examples, but there is a lot.
In 2006, the Tobu Zoo completed their new penguin enclosure, Grape-kun and Midori being among the penguins making the move. It's possible that this was because when he was taken away, they had believed he had died.
That's not what he just said. The highlighted text is not what he's actually saying.
It hasn't been exactly either. It's been like variations of it the entire time, but he hasn't word for word copied anything that's been highlighted yet.
So by now you're probably wondering, why am I going after this guy so hard?
Here it
After all, I
is.
don't normally go after other YouTubers like this. My targets are usually
Here's the
children and
drop.
animals. So why am I going after Justin? Well, it's because Justin went after me. Buckle up, because this video is about to take a very strange turn. There is another side to Justin that most people don't know about. Not that most people even know about any side to Justin, but it's one where he tries to cancel and deplatform people he doesn't like. And he's even gone so far as to get them removed from speaking engagements. And I know this about him.
Well, no, not people. You, Maddox.
Yeah.
You say people.
Like he just
but it was-
targets random people.
It was you, Maddox. This happened to you. And now let's explain why it happened to you.
He's done it to me. Justin is part of an online group who harasses, stalks,
Who are
and
they?
coordinates attacks against people using Facebook,
Not people. You.
Reddit, Discord, and IRC.
And I think you might be a part of this group.
Am I?
and I'm one of their primary
you're blocked
targets.
by Maddox.
This group is run by an obsessed stalker who's been waging
What's his name?
A smear campaign against me and
others
for years. And since Justin can't resist jumping on every pissant drama bandwagon that comes along, he joined this mob like many others before it. Except this time, Justin didn't just stand by as an idle observer, which would be bad enough. He became an active participant in this harassment.
It's very funny to see Maddox call it a drama thing, but like from this side of it, everybody was just memeing on Maddox being like a total asshole about everything. It wasn't even really drama. It was like, wow, you're gonna sue Dick for fucking making jokes.
It was like a $6 million lawsuit too. It was a ridiculous.
It was the lawsuit. It was a funny thing. It was a funny thing. It was literally like the lawsuit itself was a meme. It wasn't even drama. It was funny.
Campaign and personally went after my livelihood. Here's one of the posts that Justin made in this group where he was actively looking for my sources of income, and then he found one of my speaking engagements, or in his words, one of the workshops that keep the lights on at Casa de Maddox. He then pointed
now,
the
I'm going to
harassment.
pull up Maddox's Twitter page because this is where
you're not blocked. I am.
I'm going to pull up Wang's Twitter page because I know he specifically responded to this this allegation on his Twitter page. It's going to take me a second to find this damn thing.
To this panel, posted a link to it in their Facebook group, tweeted directly at them multiple times, and then as if that wasn't scummy enough, he even posted the names of the panelists and organizers of the event, making it easier for the group to harass them. And after he pointed this mob to this event, they of course spammed the organizers with threats, smears, and harassment, and I was removed from the panel. Good job, dipshit. Maybe if Justin put as much work into his videos as he did trying to cancel people, they wouldn't be so shitty. And if you're wondering what kind of smears this group has been spreading about me, here's a small sample of the slander. Someone from this group created a fake Twitter account with a fake rape allegation.
You got Asterios fired through lying and pretending to be a woman named Heather S. You attacked his livelihood.
Yeah, lying and pretending to be a woman to get Asterios fired is a little worse than retweeting a fucking a public speaking engagement. Oh, look what Maddox is doing now. Look what Maddox is up to now. But, you know, I don't know. Maybe he should have known that people hated Maddox enough that they would get him kicked off of the speaking engagement. I really wish I could find this post from Wang. He tweets so damn much, though.
They even used pictures of an innocent girl they found on Instagram who wasn't even aware her pictures were being used like this. Then they created a false rape allegation using this fake profile and even claimed this fictional person sent me pictures of her pregnancy test after her rape and that she had to get an abortion. Remember that clip I played earlier where Justin said it's always the most sanctimonious people who are guilty of the thing they claim to be so against? That clip was from a video where he talks about an activist group that outed people in the hardcore music scene. Justin criticized that group because at one point they went from just going after people who were abusive to actively seeking victims as a punitive measure against bands they didn't like by saying they needed more victims.
As much as people have called all the other Me Too stories witch hunts and shit like that, this is some next level shit when you put out a post saying need more victims.
Well, this mob did the exact same thing using this fake account. They even went a step further from just looking for victims that don't exist to creating one with a fake rape allegation, which is a crime, and then they even tweeted it to people I'm associated with using the MeToo hashtag. This is among the most repugnant shit I've ever seen on the internet. Besides the slander itself, which is damaging in its own right, this kind of fake horse shit hurts actual rape victims, casting doubt into legitimate claims of rape and sexual assault.
Yes. Now, all this tirade that he's gone into has nothing to do with Wang, other than Wang posted an event that Maddox was going to be speaking at,
right?
And then eventually the people that responded to it got him pulled off.
Yeah, what did Wang have to do with the false R-word accusations? Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Right. Yeah.
This is the kind of shit I've been dealing with from this group for years now.
This group.
And when it's called out, they always...
Oh, damn, I'm late for the meeting for this group. Shit.
Now, this group are the people that are fans of Dick Masterson and saw Maddox the way he treated Dick after their
He
podcast
stole their
together.
show away. He took their show.
The way he and then they made fun of Maddox for it. This is a response to things Maddox did that were probably questionably illegal, if not immoral, to just steal the show like that. Maybe it wasn't illegal, but it's completely fucked. And guess what?
It depends on
karma.
If they had a contract saying that Dick was like an equal partner, and then Maddox had no right to unilaterally remove him from all the social medias and the accounts and all that shit.
Even if he did have the right, that doesn't make him morally like free of any crowd response to what he did.
Sure.
Like everything that happened afterwards was a response to the way he reacted to Dick getting with a girl that he was with years before.
Yes.
All of this was a response to his decisions.
I shift blame and deny it was their group, but it's always the same group.
Yeah, Maddox got Dick kicked out of the Upright Citizens Brigade. That did happen. Dick was a member of the Upright Citizens Brigade at one point.
This is kind of a response to all the shit Maddox did. There wasn't a hate group. There was people responding to the shit that Maddox pulled. It was that simple. This is the fucking waves reverberating after you splashed in the fucking water, dude. You didn't want to get wet. You shouldn't have jumped in the water.
I know, because I've blocked most of them on Twitter, including Justin. And since most of them follow each other, and they're the only group of people I consistently block, I can tell at a glance when it's their group because all I have to do is look at who they're following, and it's the same people from the group that Justin's a part of, taking part in the same smear campaign like
I see My
always.
Room Records down there.
This is the
We met
story
him
of
at
how
the Dick
gullible
meetup.
dipshits like Justin can get caught up in online mobs fueled by hatred, lies, and gossip. Except this time, Justin got way too involved and crossed a line that he shouldn't have. So how did Justin get involved in all of this? Well, unfortunately, Justin has a rare medical condition called ITM-HOFB, or inability to mind his own fucking business. Since Justin has this disease and is apparently unable to mind...
That was terribly clever. Whoever came up with that, Maddox should credit them, because that is a really clever joke there.
His own fucking business.
Stupid.
When he came across
Like,
this,
why does IMTHOFB at all sound like a fucking smart, clever acronym to create?
It doesn't.
This is like, what the fuck? What the fuck? I think at some point you should probably steal from other people. If this is going to be your original content, you should probably start stealing.
Steal from the chat.
Oh, I love stealing
couldn't
from the
resist
chat.
joining the mob and
But I
personally
always
going
make the chat better than they could ever come off of in text
after me,
form.
even though I
And
hadn't done
they know
anything
that.
to him.
They're basically
he not only
my
got
writers.
involved in the smear campaign, but at one point he ingratiated himself with one of the two main ringleaders of this harassment campaign and former moderators of this
Here it
group,
comes.
a guy by the name of Asterios Kokonos. In fact, at one point, Justin even became friends with his
Did we
former
just
moderator.
watch 25 minutes of prefacing fucking bullshit so he can start shitting on Asterios?
Yes.
A person who I eventually ended up having to
And they're even friends.
take to court. So by now you're probably wondering, why did I have to take this person to court? I took him to court for fraud. This is a screenshot of an advertisement he purchased claiming to represent me and my company. He fraudulently published these false and misleading claims and targeted them directly at me and my fans. He boasted about his harassment.
Do you want to know what Maddox really thinks of his fans? Take a look. I don't know if Asterios actually did this, but it's hilarious. He bought ads to display on Reddit that showed on his Reddit.
I'm sure Asterios did it. Asterios is brilliant.
It says
Asterios
promoted
Remember Asterios has a fucking LLC, Spite LLC?
Yeah.
Remember when he showed us that?
Yeah.
Asterios is fucking a madman, and I love it.
Campaign on a website called Kiwi Farms, which is a forum dedicated to stalking, doxing, and harassment. Asterios, a guy who calls himself the good boy of comedy, regularly posted on the forums where they doxed my home address and had some choice words to say about me. Why would the good boy of comedy be posting on a hate site like this?
I hope he actually said this.
He did. Did Asterios say this? Or
I hope he did.
Board that Asterios posts on saying this? Because he just said Asterios posts. If Asterios is a good boy, why does he post on a board that says this stuff? So we have to go back just a second. I don't think that was Asterios' quote.
Oh, damn.
I think he's trying to make Asterios
But I
responsible.
want to see if we can get Maddox to block the entirety of DP.
Having to take the court.
Shives.
Yeah.
So by
I'll
now
be
you're
sad if
probably
Maddox
wondering,
actually blocks me.
why did I have to take this person to court?
Okay, we know. We know.
I took him to court for fraud.
I don't want him to block me.
This is a
I'll
screenshot
be
of an
sad.
advertisement he purchased claiming to represent me and my company. He fraudulently published these false and misleading claims and targeted them directly at me and my fans. He boasted about his harassment campaign on a website called Kiwi Farms, which is a forum dedicated to stalking, doxing, and harassment. Asterios, a guy who calls himself the good boy.
Okay, we gotta pause. I don't know how you feel about Kiwi Farms, Ben, but I feel like everybody who wanted Kiwi Farms taken down was on the wrong side of history.
I'm not a fan of Kiwi Farms, but I don't think you can take it down. I think the campaign against it, led by Keffels, proves that it's a waste of time to try to take a website like that down, and you're better off just pretending like it doesn't exist because you're just drawing more attention to it.
I really think that's the truth. The idea that you should go against Kiwi Farms is literally is the reason why you should be on Kiwi Farms.
You're just advertising it at that point.
You're asking to be milked. You're like, here's my big fat lol cow titty, milk me.
Yeah.
Boy of comedy regularly posted on the forums where they doxed my home address and had some choice words to say about me. Why would the good boy of
Oh no. See, I like how this guy's name is Ass Rapist Dude. The person who posted.
So for a second you thought Asterios said this.
Yeah, well,
right?
It was just wishful. Do you remember what he said that one time on the show?
Well, I don't want to bring that up, but the idea that this is being attributed to Asterios, the way Maddox set this up, when it was actually a user named Ass Rapist Dude 1488. And he's trying to make Asterios responsible because he posts on Kiwi Farms for what Ass Rapist Dude 1488 said. This is a super
rapist.
I mean, this is a super fucking misleading edit.
No, it's not.
Comedy be posting on a hate site like this? That's weird. He paid for this targeted harassment campaign after I blocked him on social media, and he did it specifically to hurt my book sales. And if you have any doubt,
he didn't need it.
Said it himself.
I remember his book had just come out.
Pause.
Hold on, though. I remember his book had just come out when he was on DP. It was his Fuck Whales book, and he was pushing it really hard. What were you saying?
So, Asterios' quote is, "Some people can see them," talking about the ads he bought. But more importantly, it's made George scared and uncomfortable that this could hurt his book release. And that's enough for me. Asterios didn't say he wanted to hurt your book release. He said he's glad it made you scared and uncomfortable about it hurting your book release. He is trying to get under your skin.
Looks like it worked.
He doesn't care if your book sells or not. He wants to rattle you. And he rattled you, and now, because you're the lol cow, you've taken what rattled you, the fear of it hurting your book sales, and saying Asterios was trying to hurt your book sales.
And by the way, I want to point out this screenshot says 1 year ago, but this happened like 4 or 5 years ago. So he took this screenshot a year ago and has been holding on to it this whole time.
That's wild. Yeah. This has been in the bank, but that's crazy that this has been in the works for years.
Yes.
This adds more to the obsessiveness, but you have to realize that Asterios taking ads.
Asterios' name in Greek. It's a romantic language.
No, that's the Greek translation of Asterios. No,
He's going Greek.
If anybody takes ads out about you, even if it's a hate piece about you, if you aren't a loathsome piece of trash, you will win over people that have discerning minds that see this and say, you know what, this guy doesn't seem so bad. I've had so many videos taking the piss out of me put out there, and they've all turned to people buying my music and becoming fans of mine because I'm not a completely fucking miserable person. Asterios probably got you more book sales because of this. They might have even been hate book sales where people bought it to mock you and make fun of you, but I guarantee people bought your book because of the ads Asterios took out about you. Maybe one or two, maybe 20 or 30. But somebody clicked this, said, you know what, I'm going to buy this fucking book. Everybody says there's no such thing as bad press, right? Asterios making a video mocking you and putting it out there is going to get eyes on you regardless. And you have to suck really bad not to win over some of those people. That's just a fucking fact.
What I'm about to tell you is the story of what should have been a private disagreement that spiraled way out of control and led to some random guy I met years ago in a comedy club in LA becoming obsessed with me, which resulted in a lawsuit where I sued him, his partners, and his company to get him to leave me the fuck alone.
This shouldn't have been an issue that was left privately.
He lost the lawsuit too, by the way. He leaves that part out.
He's saying you should leave this privately when you took the site and you kicked him out of the fucking duo without any real good reason. You started this and made it a must-be public thing by using your fucking manpower to kick Dick out. Yeah. You started this whole fucking thing, and you want to act like Dick was being obsessive. Dick was using the only power he had at that point when you took his livelihood away from him.
Well, Dick was quiet about it for a long while after it first happened, and then Maddox started to try and soil his reputation, and then that's when shit got really crazy at that point.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, and the most fucked up thing about this is that it was over personal shit. It wasn't like a business disagreement. It was like deeply personal shit that they should have worked out and been like, hey, we're business partners. We should work this out. And, you know, we could just come to work and get over it and then go home and not be around each other if we don't want to be. Like, but, you know, to fucking just create a big spectacle out of something like this is just beyond the pale. It shouldn't be like this.
So you might be wondering, who is this guy and how did we get involved? Well, he's a copywriter and an amateur comedian who considers himself a male feminist. He virtue signals about defending women's rights, working with female comedians, and how it's never okay to reduce people to their basest elements. Wow, what a hero. That is, of course, when he's not busy banning cunts on Facebook. And if the
okay, yeah, he used the word cunts. Who cares?
Trend with outspoken male feminists is any indication, that should be.
He says he likes
use the C word.
He says he stands up for women, but he uses the word cunts. Huh? How could you do that? Easily.
A huge red flag.
Could he?
I wonder if Justin has ever said anything about male feminists. And of course he has, because Justin never misses an opportunity to be a hypocrite. He has a huge problem with male feminists, unless, of course, they're his friends.
Of course he pointed out the times when male feminists are predators. I'm a male feminist. I commit crimes against women all the time, and I hide behind the fact that I think they're equal. Because I also commit crimes against men. That's what makes them equal.
But back to Asterios for a minute. So you might be wondering, how did I cross paths with this guy? Well, the very short version is, I met him late one night after a comedy show in Los Angeles. He seemed like a friendly guy at first and wanted to promote some of his comedy, so I invited him on my podcast. But we had a falling out when I found out he talks behind people's backs. And that seems to be a pattern with him because
this seems weird. Okay.
He's had a falling out with 3 different co-hosts on
you talk behind people's backs too.
3 different podcasts. And there's even a 4th one he got fired from that's not even public knowledge. But maybe I'm the problem. So I called him out for being two-faced when I caught him talking behind his friend's back.
Maybe I'm the problem. Maddox unironically saying, maybe I'm the problem, is pretty funny.
It is funny.
Like, he must really believe that he was just an innocent boy.
He was.
Defending the honor of his relationship he had 3 years prior to Dick coming in and dating the woman that, honestly, Dick is still with her, isn't he?
I have no idea, but maybe 80. They call her 80s girl. They call her 80s girl.
I thought they've been together this whole time. I could be wrong.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on in his personal world at all. So I don't know. Maybe he is. Yeah.
Could you imagine being mad at a guy for dating a girl you dated 3 years ago, and ending a podcast, and then this guy goes on to like have a long-lasting relationship with her? Like that's if he cared enough to boot Dick from the podcast over this after he'd been broken up with her. Like it wasn't like he took her from him during the podcast, like he was dating her.
Right.
It was like they'd split up, and then to add insult to injury, they're good together and they go the distance. This must be fucking brain-numbingly hard for Maddox to deal with. And knowing that you made the move to end the podcast with him out of your own bitterness, and then he becomes, I think, more successful on his own, making fun of you for 5 years.
Yes.
Like, fuck.
It's true.
You made the ultimate wrong move.
Yeah, he should have sucked it up. He could have been like, hey, like, I don't like what you did, so I don't think we should hang out anymore, and we'll just keep doing the show, or like whatever. Like he should,
or even say, let's end the show. Let's end it. I don't want to do this with you anymore. Let's find a way to end it amicably, and we'll move on our own separate ways. He could have done a lot of things, but he chose to be like, fuck this guy, I'm cutting him out. And Dick chose to be like, no, you're not. I'm going to make a podcast with you, Maddox, without you being on it. That's going to be way more lucrative to me. And it's what he did. We went to the fucking Dick Show road show in Portland.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
And it was the Maddox show. Without Maddox, everybody was clowning on Maddox so hard. And it was like, dude, if Maddox wouldn't have done this, who knows what Dick would have been doing?
It was literally like a ballroom full of people shitting on Maddox.
It was.
And it was a tour. It was literally in several cities around the entire country. They would fill like a venue full of people that hated Maddox, that just shit on Maddox the whole time.
And Maddox unironically says, and maybe it's me.
Here's a small sample of the things he'd say about one of his supposed close friends behind his back in private, but then he'd go off.
So, okay, so Maddox is saying he's mad because he found out that Asterios talk behind people's backs, but it looks like he's talking about Dick Masterson here. Because I see a name, and that would be Dick's actual name there.
I like how Maddox
is sticking up for Dick Masterson here, or what?
I like how Maddox won't mention Dick's name at all in any of this. He won't even mention Dick. He'll say a hate group was somebody who had a vengeance against me. Won't mention his name, but he will use Asterios calling him a sociopath to prove how evil Asterios is, while he obviously... I think obviously hates Dick more than Asterios. Maybe he doesn't, though. They both caught a lawsuit.
Pretty sure he hates Dick more. He won't even acknowledge his existence.
I would think so, right?
But
I would think so.
I don't
but
think...
he's using him right now to try and denigrate Asterios.
Because he's being misleading. People don't he's banking on people not recognizing the name here, I would think.
The next day and pretend like
and
they
honestly,
were good.
If Dick is a sociopath, I like him even more.
Friends in public.
Hell yeah.
When I catch someone being two-faced, I cut ties with them because they'll eventually do it to you. So I called him out on it, and that should have been the end of it. Except it wasn't. There's more to this conversation that I'll get to in a minute, but what happened next was insane. Asterios started harassing me, my friends, my sponsors, and even my guests on my podcast.
Jim can't swim cop snitch. Sociopath, this sociopath that people might be uninterested for no reason or impulsive. I hate PPL analyzing personality pathologies on others, talking behind someone's back.
John, you're a fucking psychopath, sir.
I don't talk behind your back, John, but you probably do have voices in your head that talk behind your back, and give them a little love, okay? I'm watching this right now, and I'm thinking, like, if Chris Chan was articulate, this is the type of argument Christine would make to support the way the internet laughs at her. Like, this is just like the only difference between this and Christine, like Onision, the way he responded to people over and over and over again. This is lolcow logic.
Every time I hear Onision now, it sounds like an Irish name, and I just picture like Onision, like a little leprechaun.
Onision,
kissing the Blarney Stone, Onision.
From the Christine clan.
Yep.
Chris clan.
All while playing
the Christian clan.
The victim. He's extremely good at making himself out to be a victim and accusing others of doing exactly what he's accusing them of. For example, here's a DM conversation he had with one of my sponsors after harassing them on Twitter and implying that they committed fraud even after I took him to court for this type of harassment. He would obsessively write hundreds and hundreds of posts about me on Reddit and Twitter and
Okay,
Facebook.
he took him to court for this harassment. Did he win in court?
No.
Oops.
Various other places online.
Even after I took you to court and lost, you continued to do the thing I took you to court for that I didn't win for.
And at one point, even sent me spam from his mailing list. In short, he became obsessed with me, and at one point he even asked his girlfriend to watch my live streams to keep tabs on me.
I mean, you were suing him, right? I'd be keeping an eye on the person suing me too. Absolutely.
But also, you're coming from the place of being a public figure, and you're literally a public figure who kicked the hornet's nest. You kicked the hornet's nest, dude. You did this, and instead of running away from the bees,
I promise. No,
you continued kicking it.
You and voices in my head just tell me to have sex, booze, and me to meth. Evil thoughts are only evil when other people hear them.
I don't know, John. I think you're going to have to send about 10 more donos before I agree with what you're saying. I don't know.
Oh, you don't want
John,
to listen? All right, I love you.
I think the voices in your head tip better.
Tell me what's happening with Maddox. Can you watch it and tell me? I'm watching a little bit of it.
Thank you, John.
He even followed me around online and left comments on YouTube videos if I so much as had an appearance in one. And part of the reason he seemed to be doing this was for money. Because just about everywhere he went, he'd spam links to his Patreon account, which is definitely against their terms of service, but Patreon doesn't enforce their rules consistently, and that's a whole other story. At one point, he started combing through my website to find something problematic I'd written 20 years ago, and even contacted a comedy theater I performed at to try to get me canceled there. Except he got the theater wrong.
Something problematic he did 20 years ago, but he's pulling up 10-year-old stuff on Justin Whang that isn't even problematic. It's just possibly questionable if you were turning in your homework and not getting the proper citations in it. Literally from 8 years ago that he's pulling from Whang out. Not even problematic. This is not problematic.
Brooklyn I'd never been to or even heard of. Maybe that's why he's friends with Justin, because apparently they're both bad at research. And as if trying to cancel me wasn't bad enough, at one point after months of smearing me publicly, he even encouraged his followers to review my podcast and even shared instructions on how to create an iTunes account without using a credit card, which is a way for people to write fake and duplicate negative reviews. And it's worth noting that all of this happened long before any lawsuits were filed. So you might be thinking,
but it's also worth noting that they were trolling you because you did some shit that got you targeted, dude. I don't understand how lolcows can think they're just completely free of the target. You can run away from the bees and hide, and yeah, it sucks. You got stung. But you can't keep kicking the fucking nest and expecting the bees to respect you. That's not how it works.
Exactly.
You just get stung more.
What did you do to this guy? Did you go after him and encourage a mob to try to destroy his podcast and products with negative reviews? No, actually, I haven't done anything like that to him. So you might be thinking, well, maybe this has been a back and forth feud. Surely, if he's been talking about me this much, I must have responded to at least some of his countless smears and comments about me, right? Nope. In fact, until this video, I haven't even mentioned this guy in public in over 5 years. And I mean that literally. While he ran his mouth constantly on Twitter, the number of tweets I made about him are...
Man, I wonder how much worse his life has gotten since he uploaded this video. Like at some point he must have got really comfortable with the lack of attention and was like, you know what? It's about time for me to take back the power. He's like, I got to take back the power and own these guys and show the world how horrible they treated me. And then he uploads this.
He was jealous.
I cannot imagine.
He was jealous of Eric July, all the attention he was getting.
Dude, maybe. I cannot imagine this being good for him.
0.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
For a Facebook posts I made about him. 0. The number of times I mention him on my podcast. 0. I haven't attacked him or even mentioned him in public anywhere on any platform, nor have I asked or encouraged any of my fans to attack him in public or private in any capacity, not once, ever, period. So if I wasn't doing anything to this guy,
what you're saying is, why was he responding, Maddox? He was responding because what you were doing was a contemptible action, and he was a comedy guy making comedy out of your contemptible action. It was live meme comedy. That's what he was doing.
This dono was made through questionable means with minimal extortion. I am no psycho. Magicus is a psycho. He locked me in a cage for a month, not because I am a psycho.
Yeah.
You better not do that, Magicus.
On the attack. Well, you saw one possible explanation earlier. Money. He not only spammed his Patreon link in conjunction with the smear campaign, his friends and followers even went to my personal website and spammed links to his Patreon constantly on his behalf. But there was only one problem. If I wasn't responding or doing anything to him, how could he justify his continued attacks? Well, he came up with the perfect explanation. He accused me of conducting a shadow war and engaging in a whisper campaign where I allegedly went around Los Angeles whispering things about him and his friends, which is bizarre because I promise you.
Pause. You promise you haven't whispered anything about him? I find that hard to believe when you had cut him off. You cut him off for being two-faced in DMs, saying he would inevitably be two-faced to you. You just showed us that you cut him off. If you were working with him and you cut him off, I'm pretty sure people asked you what happened to Asterios, and I'm pretty sure you responded with, "Oh, I don't like that guy. He's two-faced," because you had him platformed, and then he was no longer around. At the very least, you must have explained to people what happened to this guy that they thought was funny on your platforms that disappeared. You just told us that he'd done enough two-faced action for you to cut him off before it happened to you. You just denigrated him now in front of us for this video.
There's nothing I could whisper about this guy that's worse than the things I've put in this video, which are just things he's actually done. Accusing someone of a shadow war.
So now you're saying you did go around saying these things that you said in this video to people in Los Angeles, but you're expected to be absolved of it because you felt righteous in doing so. So you did, because you felt righteous, he felt righteous to respond. Again, you kicked the fucking hornet's nest. You got the bees.
Perfect allegation to make when you don't have any evidence to back up your claims. If anyone asked for proof, he could simply say, oh, it was all part of the shadow war, so by definition, there was no proof. This is some of the most delusional, psychotic bullshit I've ever seen. He accused me of all sorts of things where I literally had no fucking idea what he was even talking about, and of course, all without any evidence. He even accused me of creating alternate Twitter accounts and downvoting his YouTube videos like I don't have anything better to do than to downvote videos on some random guy's YouTube channel who I met in a comedy club over half a fucking...
Pause. You don't have anything to do but download some a guy's comments on a YouTube channel you met in a comedy club many years ago? How do you have nothing better to do than this current video right now that you've been saving random fucking messages on other people's books just like this years ago, having them come out years later? How How are you trying to tell us you don't have anything better to do when we're seeing the most obsessive, non-tent, nothing call-out expose with so much back information hidden because you won't mention Dick Masterson? How this is one of the most obsessive nothings I've ever seen anybody cry about on the internet.
Ago. Again, all of these allegations without a single shred of evidence. But unfortunately, if you repeat a false claim enough, no matter how ridiculous that claim is, eventually someone gullible enough will not only believe it, but they'll go so far as to attack the person on your behalf. And that's exactly what happened. So you might be wondering, what kind of gullible dipshit would not only believe a false claim about another person without evidence, but then make it their...
Whenever Maddox leads in with, so you might be wondering what kind of, whenever he says, so you might be wondering, this is him having to spell out what he thinks is evil, because nothing that he's said so far would spell out anything truly bad other than the terribly misleading evidence he's put out. And now he has to say, so you might be wondering, this is why I'm really butthurt and really mad. And even this is like, you're really piecing this together and really trying to hold our hand into thinking Asterios is a psychomaniac, when really what he was doing was fucking milking a lol cow. I'm sorry to say it. Maddox, you were a sweet boy to me. I think you're an all right guy. But you are also a lol cow, dude.
Business and attack them.
You asked for all of this.
For it. Enter Justin Whang. Justin typifies this idiotic mob mentality that has overtaken the entire internet because Justin Whang is a fucking idiot.
I'm a fucking idiot.
Really, he's stupid.
Like, really, I'm stupid.
Some of you may realize this already, but some of you may just be learning this fact.
I'm sure some of you guys realize this already, but I'm just fucking learning this fact.
As you saw earlier in this video, Justin Whang loves to go down rabbit holes of pissant drama he finds on the internet, except this time he went way too far. I almost feel bad for Justin because he obviously got manipulated by bad actors with malicious and financial motives who took advantage of some very gullible people. But Justin wasn't the only person duped. At one point, Asterios asked one of his stalker buddies, a former fan of mine named Isaias Lozano, to share my private conversations with him. Asterios then took these doctored up conversations and used them to buy those fraudulent ads he placed on Reddit. At one point, I had to look into getting a restraining order against this former fan of mine because even after I blocked him 6 times on various social media networks,
he kept through looking bad in public sphere, trying his worst to damage control something you shouldn't be tanking to begin with. I hate how he says how audience has to think using morality, not that I have no psychopathic mind tricks.
There you have it. Thank you, John.
Kept contacting me, and of course, he's also a male feminist. And if his name sounds familiar, that's because you might have noticed it earlier because, surprise, surprise, it's one of the accounts followed by the fake rape allegation on Twitter. You may be noticing a pattern here. But before we go on, remember the text conversation I mentioned earlier? The one where he was talking behind the back of one of his business partners and supposed friends? During the course of that conversation, while we were having our falling out, he said something very strange to me. While we were having a disagreement, out of the blue, he said that he hoped that my new book would do very well when it came out. That's a very weird thing to say to somebody during an argument. So
is this Asterios talking to? Is this Asterios talking to Maddox?
No, it's to somebody else, I believe.
Because if Asterios is talking to Maddox saying, hey man, you shouldn't go head to head with Dick. You shouldn't try to beat a sociopath, dude. You've pissed off a sociopath. It wouldn't be an issue if he wasn't a sociopath. He's a sociopath. You can't beat them. This could be him trying to be very kind to Maddox.
Maybe.
Saying, look, dude, you going against Dick is going to hurt. This could actually, this right here, if this is Asterios talking to Maddox about Dick, this could be him warning him not to go toe-to-toe with Dick.
And if you notice, the other side of this conversation is being left out, too.
Like, who is Asterios telling this to?
Yeah.
If this is to Maddox, this could 100% be read as him saying, look, dude, you really don't want to go toe-to-toe with Dick. You don't. Dick has the dog in him. You don't have the dog in you. He will eat you up. That's all. Saying he's trying to beat a sociopath is not being like evil to Dick, right? It's warning Maddox that he's not dealing with a person that's on Maddox's level. Maddox, not a sociopath. Maddox is a lolliopath. He's of the Lolliticus cowithus.
Ignored him.
It's a genus of its own, the lolcow variety. Dick is a sociopath, and in all the best ways that it matters, Dick will not stop. Dick is tenacious. Dick is charming. Dick is all the good things about a sociopath, and he will eat you up. If this is actually him saying this directly to Maddox, this is Asterios being a very kind, sweet person, and Maddox not understanding any of that.
But then he said it a second time, saying, really, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, have a very successful book launch. I can't wait. It sounded like a threat.
So
that's like saying, I hope your kids sleep well tonight
Maddox.
during a heated argument. That's a threat.
Maddox's internet history. This is hard to watch. Asterios is my fave DP guest, so I assume he will be on within a week, so I can get some sleep.
He's got to come on. This was Asterios talking to Maddox when him and Dick had a falling out. He was warning him not to do what he did. Yeah. And using the term of saying Dick's a sociopath. He's going to beat you. He's going to be ruthless. He's going to make you look like an ass. Asterios called everything that happened. And rather than Maddox being like, okay, dude, maybe you're right. Maddox is like, wow, you're calling this guy a sociopath that I hate? Fuck you. You're taking his side. You're taking his side, and you're two-faced at the same time. He stopped talking to Asterios because Asterios was telling Maddox not to do what he was doing, and trying to warn him in the way of saying, Dick is a sociopath. He will beat you. I don't. You guys, if you don't understand sociopathy, it's a very interesting. It's charismatic. It means a person doesn't care about feelings, but they also care about being perceived well. The idea that Dick is a sociopath, whether or not he is a sociopath, the idea that he is actually a great thing for Maddox to take into mind before starting an online war with him. And if Asterios really tried to get this through Maddox's head,
narcissists or other B-cluster pathologies to be observed. What a manipulating piece of shit. I am a legit case of ASPD and BDW. It's a construct, not a deficient of the mind. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Have a very successful stream tonight. I can't wait.
You son of a bitch, random guy. What sort of threat is that? You sicko. You don't come to our house and threaten us like that. Ban him. Ban him.
So I told him, don't go after me because I can go after your pocketbook too. Then he did something very strange. He said, go nuts. And then he gave me the contact information for a company I'd never heard of before, a company called Weber Shandwick. And in case you're wondering if that's just an off-the-cuff remark, it wasn't. He not only encouraged me to contact them, but he...
I'm going to attempt to fix Billy's mic. I guess it's been... I don't know. This... All right, everything's... all right, that should be better.
Better? All right.
Yeah.
Actually gave me their contact information. Yes, really. I was tempted to call, but I didn't. Even though this guy was threatening my livelihood, I still showed restraint and didn't bother contacting them. Why would I? What would I have to gain by calling this guy's work? It's not like he was doing this stuff on company
threatening
time.
Your livelihood. We just read the DM. He didn't say that he was going to. You interpreted him saying, have a good, I hope your book does well. You interpreted him being possibly like whatever, dude, like, I hope you do well, fuck off, I hope you do well. This was a threat. And then you threatened him saying, I could destroy your career too. And he said, go nuts, to you making a counter threat to what you thought was a possible threat. You made it an actual threat. Maybe he was saying it in a threatening way. But then go nuts, and this is what we focus on, is the go nuts here, not the, hey man, I could destroy your career too, that Maddox prefaced this with.
Knowledge of his supervisors. Was he? Well, it turns out he was. After Asterios' escalation of these attacks week after week, month after month, year after year, through a stroke of luck, I got an inside tip from someone who worked at his company with first-hand knowledge of their internal operations. I learned that their IT department keeps logs of all the websites visited on company time, which isn't unusual for a company of that size to do. Oops! This is one part of the video where I won't disclose my source to protect the parties involved, but if you have any doubt, there were multiple eyewitnesses who watched him do this from work, including his own followers, because the genius live streamed it from work. So when it became clear that he wasn't going to stop going after my livelihood and harassing me, my friends, my acquaintances, and doing it on company time no less, as a last resort, I decided to contact his work out of desperation to get him to stop. Keep in mind, this was after months of his attacks, so I showed a lot of restraint by not contacting them immediately. I sent an email and tried to remain anonymous to his company in an effort to avoid further retaliation.
And tried to remain anonymous. Instead, what happened? You made everybody who already thought you were a weasel catch you doing weasel things.
Yes.
You added fuel to the fire.
The girl I was dating at the time was receiving countless rape and death threats from this mob. And I know he did this with the explicit knowledge that this group that he was part of makes these types of threats. How do I know? Because they've even done it to him and his ex-wife. Wow, what a feminist. I thought a company like Weber...
You know, Ben, the internet can be very mean to people.
Psycho or narcissist are common witch hunt terms. What about 2 to 10% estimated B cluster, dark tetrad, who can't do anything about it? Very nice move to piss them off and also give away total bitch vibes when one analyzes you. Get yet another example of how victim narratives and god complexes don't mesh as well as a food hack.
Exactly, Tubes.
I do like step in and do the right thing because they like to stress how forward-thinking and progressive they are, releasing statement after statement about how they're leaders in diversity and inclusion. They even released an article proudly boasting about how many people of color they've promoted. Very progressive of them to tally up the colored people in their office for a bullet point and a marketing sheet for their company. So surely this progressive company would put a stop to this harassment, right? Nope. In fact, they told him about my email, allowed him to continue the harassment campaign, and things got worse. One of Weber Shandwick's clients was the UN Women's Group, and Asterios worked for their campaign. Nice of him to take time away from banning cunts, but don't worry, those cunts weren't even that hot. But at this point, I have to admit I made a mistake. Had I known then what I know now, would I have contacted his employer? Absolutely not. I would have contacted them much sooner, because I had no idea these maniacs would still be going at it over half a decade later. That's how this ultimately became a lawsuit, because this random guy I met at a comedy scene in Los Angeles became obsessed, caused damages, and doesn't know how to fuck off. In my 23 years of doing this, I've never had a problem with anyone.
Pretty sure he was involved. It wasn't just that he met him in the comedy scene and then like didn't see him again until after the Dick Masterson feud started. He was part of their show. He had involvement with their. He's leaving that very important piece of information out.
And he's taking these DMs that Asterios sent to him when it seems like Asterios was trying to warn him not to go head to head with Dick on this. He was trying to be a friend.
I think
he took it as, oh, you're going to call Dick a sociopath? Maybe not even then. But he's like, if you want to ruin my livelihood, I could do it to you too.
Should only be used as a last resort.
In fact, it didn't work. He lost the lawsuit.
What's not publicly known is that at some point during the suit, I reached out to him directly for the first time in years and offered to unilaterally drop the lawsuit for the
September 2018.
Low cost of leave me the fuck alone. It was all I ever wanted, and I didn't even ask for legal fees or damages. Again, all he had to do was fuck off, and that would have been the end of it. I was polite and cordial in my communication. I said, take your life back, and ended the text by saying, let's end this tonight. With only 20 minutes before the midnight deadline, he finally replied and said,
oh, he was going to give him his half of biggest problem too. He said, have my half of biggest problem too. I'd rather you do something with it. Let's end this tonight. So he was going to give him his half of the biggest problem.
And mine.
Now he doesn't have any of it, and people are just doing it without him.
Since he left me less than 18 minutes to
So not only was this a guy that he only met at a comedy club and barely knew, but he was also a guy he was willing to give his half of biggest problem to.
Yeah. He just met him at a comedy club. He hardly knew him.
But I would give you half of the podcast that the bees have been stinging me over. I'll let you have the beehive now, please. Please take it off of me. These bees are hurting now. Please.
Tone as a sign of reconciliation and goodwill, so I decided to end things and hope that he would finally stop and leave me the fuck alone. So I responded and said that I would drop everything and hoped that cooler heads would prevail. But he didn't acknowledge it in public and carried on the next day pretending like this conversation didn't occur, milking it for all it was worth. Then he tried to file a
because you took it as a good sign. You took it as a good sign. He said, no, dude, fuck off. I'm not going to stop talking about you. This shit's hilarious and fun. It's so fun to the point of I do it during work to keep me entertained on work hours. This shit is fun. He's like, I'm having too much fun pissing on you. But he said, no, take it up with your lawyers. And you said, well, I'll take that as a sign of good faith that we're going to stop this because you might be fucking, you might be a fucking psychotic narcissist. You might be out of your fucking mind because everything that Asterios is saying, you're reading in a way that I don't think he was saying it. I think it's everything everybody's saying. You're misinterpreting and misreading and you're misleading. And I can't believe that you're misleading this in a way that is completely bad faith. I think you have to be pathologically off on a lot of this stuff.
Bad faith, sir. Bad faith.
So poor. It's such a poor reading of human fucking words. You're assuming all these things that benefit you in all of these assumptions you're reading out. You're not reading any nuance to any of it when there's a lot of room. You're assuming every single thing to be what you think it was. This is ridiculously, stupid.
That got thrown out, and finally, that's where you think things would have ended. Except, of course it didn't. Then Asterios started to carpet bomb the internet with his false victim narrative while gaslighting me and telling everyone that I sued him because he called me the word cuck. The word cuck is an insult used to emasculate men, similar to calling someone a beta, soy boy, or a f***it. Yes, even though he committed fraud, harassed my friends, sponsors, and spammed me relentlessly for years, somehow he was the victim because he got sued. Newsflash, 100% of people who get sued don't like it. I couldn't give less of a shit if he called me a cuck or a f***it. I've been called way worse in the comment section of my own videos daily.
In the lawsuit, he's suing for being called a cuck. It's referenced in the actual lawsuit.
Yes.
Even makes sense. People have been calling me names much worse for years and I haven't sued anyone. You can call me whatever names you want. That's protected speech. What's not protected is fraud, threats, stalking, and harassment. When Asterios bought those ads on Reddit, he did it using my name and my business, targeting my fans specifically to hurt my book sales with misleading statements. So no, I don't care about being called playground names. What I care about are damages. Don't like it? Don't stalk, harass, and commit fraud and you won't get sued. Despite these facts, Asterios continued to spread this bullshit narrative everywhere he could. He tried to get media attention on it, but since most people have never heard of this guy, the only people who would cover the story were his friends in the media. The first person was a guy named Brock Wilbur, an outspoken male feminist. And of course, like many other outspoken male feminists, he was Me Too.
Brock looks like he might be part dwarf.
He could
titled,
be.
I Was Played by a Male Feminist, where he allegedly dated someone without disclosing he had a live-in girlfriend while virtue signaling about Gamergate and women's rights. And he's also been accused of being a serial abuser. So this male
this is where he's like, he starts bringing up like weird accusations and shit.
Covered Asterios' story for a website called
this guy who supports Asterios is a alleged creeper.
Magazine, where he conveniently forgot to mention little details like the fact that he and Asterios are friends, and that Asterios is a contributor to the very magazine interviewing him. Oops! Just a slip of the mind not to mention this major conflict of interest and not a deliberate attempt to whitewash his friend's narrative, right? Brock didn't bother reaching out to me for comment, and he sure as shit didn't disclose his relationship to Asterios. But that wasn't the end of Asterios' carpet bombing campaign, because he had another friend in the media, a writer from Vice named Mike Pearl. Mike is his longtime friend and former roommate.
The inventor of the necklace.
He's written such articles for Vice like this one about the legalities of pseudo-kitty porn. The only problem was, Mike wouldn't have been able to write about me because I've actually met Mike before, several times. In fact, we've all
Like how he threw that in, the legalities of pseudo CP.
hung out together. So if he tried to write an article about me, I would have been suspicious. So instead, I got contacted by another writer from Vice, a guy by the name of Justin Whang, and surprise, surprise, he's another male feminist. He rails about toxic masculinity, but apparently he makes exceptions for his buddies in Facebook groups that stalk, dox, and harass people. When he contacted me, I was immediately suspicious, so I asked him if he was Asterios' former roommate because I couldn't remember Mike's name. Justin knew who I was talking about and immediately said that was Mike, and even admitted that he'd met Asterios before. But he didn't disclose how close they were. This made me even more suspicious. So I looked up Justin, and it turns out that he not only knows who Mike Pearl is, but they're longtime friends and even do a podcast together. Oops.
Oh, wow.
When I pressed Whang about this,
Wow.
he downplayed his relationship to Asterios and said that they weren't friends. He even went a step further in public, saying that they'd only spoken once prior to this story. Well, that's funny, because I found this Twitter thread where they communicated as far back as 2015, and another one from 2014 where
They
all
spoke
three of
on
them,
Twitter?
Justin,
Oh,
Mike, and
no!
Asterios, were on the same thread together. That's weird.
You know what?
Almost
You
like-
know what? I've had a back and forth with many celebrities on Twitter. They're my best friends.
All three of them were friends. Since he wasn't forthright, I decided to investigate a little bit further. Turns out that they're much closer than he let on. Whang has not only met Asterios, but he follows him on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. At the time of this recording, Whang only followed about 6 public figures on Facebook, including Barack Obama and Steve Agee. So it's pretty telling that he made Asterios
Done,
one of
dude.
the few people he
Look at
follows
those.
on
Look at
every
those 6
platform.
people on the
I
screen
don't
that
even
he follows.
Follow some of my closest friends on all 3 platforms. And in case you think that he did it just for research, we can rule that out because he doesn't follow me anywhere. Then I dug a little bit deeper and surprise, surprise, guess who they invited as a guest on Justin and Mike's podcast? None other than Asterios Kokkinos. I'm sure it was a total benign lapse in memory and not a deliberate attempt to hide his relationship, because as a journalist advice, it might be looked down upon to publish puff pieces about your friends without disclosing your relationship.
No, it's not. No one gives a shit.
Although it's Vice, so I'm not sure
Journalists
if they have
will not want to tell you all the information about their personal lives when they're trying to get information out of you. They will lie. That's part of investigation. Cops do it. Detectives do it.
Maddox
Journalists
does
do
it. Maddox
they lie
does
to get
it.
information.
He withholds information.
journalistic standards to begin with. And if you have any doubt as to how close they were, they even promoted Asterios' narrative on the podcast, plugged his fundraiser for him to try to countersue me, and Asterios signed off the episode, and I can't make this up, by saying, "I'll talk to you guys later. I love you both," to which they responded, "Love you, bye."
Sounds like they weren't trying to hide
I'll
it.
talk to you guys later. I love you both.
Totally normal way to end an interview with a journalist. So contrary to Justin's claim, that's 4 instances that they've communicated before this article, and that's just what's been documented publicly. So if I did my math correctly, that makes Justin Whang a liar. So the guy wanting to write an article about me from Vice is friends with the guy he's writing
if
about.
Maddox has done his math correctly, Justin's a liar. I'm so glad Maddox is in charge of the math to judge other people being bad people. There's one thing I know about Maddox is that he is the trusted source. He grades everybody's YouTube videos on an official 5th grade English scale. You better cite sources or you're getting a D-, and you better not tell me anything that I think might be wrong, because then you're a liar.
And his roommate.
I love you both.
You'd think that that would be an important piece of information to disclose. I wonder why he didn't
Has
mention
Asterios
that.
ever said
They
he
also
loves the
plugged
both of us, Ben?
Maybe.
I sure fucking hope he has. Otherwise, I'm siding with Maddox on this one.
Asterios' podcast, except he forgot to mention his podcast on Cunt Media. Why does that sound so familiar? Oh, that's right. It was one of the accounts followed by the person who made the fake rape allegation. And we've come full circle. And in case you're wondering how deep this nepotistic rabbit hole goes, I checked the pages Justin was following on Facebook, and Paste Magazine was one of them. The very same website that Asterios is a contributor for, and the one where Brock Wilbur published his hit piece.
I wonder if he had like all these people, like pictures of them on a wall, and he was connecting them with yarn. You know, like bringing it all together.
He must have been. He must have been. This is like extreme obsession, and I cannot see how this video being released would make it any easier on Maddox. This just, you probably had him in a piece, and he probably forgot what it was like not to be harassed by people, and then he kicks the fucking hornet's nest again.
What's up? I asked Cafe if
There's no way his life is easier now than a month before he released this. I can't believe it.
In the article. He said he'd run it by his editors, but he didn't get back to me with their response. So, since Cafe didn't follow up with
people
what his
are
editors
asking
said,
why John's not donating his wisdom. I got a message from John. Streamlabs is no longer taking his money. I think he might have got suspiciously too wordy with those narcissists over
When
in
the article
Streamlabs.
came out, Cafe accused me of ghosting him, which is misleading. What actually happened is we had several scheduling conflicts, and after badgering me for weeks, I tried to accommodate him even while I was traveling out of the country. When we finally agreed on a day, Justin didn't follow through, and he didn't contact me again for nearly a month. Since he was unprofessional and not forthright, I stopped responding. But Justin simply said that I turned down the interview, which implies that I didn't give him a statement, except I did. Literally,
you didn't do an interview. Giving a statement is not doing an interview.
Response to him stated that almost everything said about me has been false or misleading. When the article came out, Cafe, of course, didn't publish the statement and neglected to disclose his relationship to Asterios. This isn't even the first time Cafe has written a puff piece for one of his friends. Back in 2018, he wrote this article where he helped promote his friend's TV show without disclosing their relationship. I've written a full article about Justin's nepotism and his failure to disclose his conflicts of interest at Vice Magazine for those of you who are interested. As for why
Thank goodness Maddox is holding people writing pieces about their friends to the light, finally.
Talking about this is because I'm still
you know what would be nice if people didn't do this in realms where media was completely owned by 3 big corporations and locking people out. I think you writing a fucking puff piece about your buddy is the least of our concern when it comes to nepotism. This is you nitpicking and trying to point fingers. Ben, is that you on the Rusty Shackelford picture?
Nope.
Is that your nose and eyes there?
Campaign.
Look at that.
Oh,
that look like you. There's Spite Incorporated right there.
I'm still dealing with the
No, that's
okay,
Asterios.
that's Asterios.
Pay attention, Billy.
Asterios have similar
Pay
brows.
attention.
He even published his false narrative on his friend Rich Kiyonka's
anything
website,
ever.
better known as Low Tax. Low Tax's greatest
No,
hits include Something
you're
Awful
actually
and
not.
Women.
Objectively
And of
not.
course, Asterios even defended Low Tax in his hit piece against me. And the stuff you've seen in this video barely scratches the surface, like when he started posting what he claimed to be my girlfriend's phone number online, which caused her distress because she'd have to drop everything she was doing and check social media every time this dipshit tried to dox her.
Fuck
The fucking
you.
idiot added the real area code of the city we live in, so his hate mob started calling and harassing some random guy in Los Angeles.
Pause. Go back to this, because this is a big thing. That isn't her actual phone number. What he's bleeping out, okay? They took the area code to the city that Maddox lived in, said he got the girl's number that is related to Maddox here. I don't know who she was. Said he got her number, put the area code on the thing, and then wrote the number 8675309.
Yeah.
He took the 310 California area code and wrote 8675309 as a joke, saying, "Look who gave me their number on this napkin at the show."
Yeah.
It was a joke.
Yes.
In the 310 California area code number, and Maddox now is saying that he tried to dox her number using the 310 area code and the meme number. I got your number off the wall. It's literally, he's blocked out the entire number, trying to use the fact that he used the LA area code number as a fucking doxing her when it was a joke.
check social
It was
media every time this dipshit threatened to dox her.
8675309.
Except the fucking idiot
And he's
added the real area
misrepresenting the
code of
joke
the city
here,
we live
saying
in. So
she was doxxed
this hate mob
with the
started
real
calling and
area code of the
harassing
city
some
you live
random
in.
guy in Los
It's fucking L.A.
Angeles. Good job,
Everybody
dumbass.
has the 310 area code in L.A. It's not a dox to say you live in L.A.
I live in the second largest city in the entire country. Good job, dumbass.
If Asterios hadn't carpet bombed the internet with so much bullshit, I probably wouldn't have had to make this video. And if he didn't threaten me, encourage people to review bomb my podcast, harass my sponsors, and publish a fraudulent ad to hurt my book sales, I wouldn't have had to take him to court. I would honestly love to never have to mention this idiot ever again. Had Justin not involved himself and minded his own fucking business instead of attacking me completely unprovoked, I wouldn't have had to make this video about him either. What I've learned through all of this is that there's almost no downside to slander. If you smear somebody on a platform like YouTube, you gain money, clicks, and notoriety. And when the person you're slandering responds to set the record straight and prove you wrong, as they usually do, the person making the smears can either double down and get more clicks on the drama, or they can apologize. Unless the person you're slandering has the time, energy, and resources to litigate, scumbags like Justin will always profit off of slander and drama.
Even if you litigate, it's not going to, I mean, like, you're living proof. It doesn't always work. Sometimes you should just let it go.
And even if Justin doesn't monetize his apology, the damage is already done.
Sometimes you should listen to Asterios when he says, don't go head to head with a sociopath.
He successfully
Asterios
removed
was
me-
actually being the kindest friend to you in that moment.
What a backstabber.
And you missed it.
From a panel and silenced me from speaking engagements.
How did we get to this point in this country where instead of debating the people that we disagree with, we just want to silence them outright?
Yeah, good question, Justin. I wonder how we got here. People like Justin represent the very worst elements of cancel culture. He's exactly like the woke SJW PC culture he claims to hate, except worse, because at least they're not pretending to be champions of free speech. If anyone deserves to be the target of cancel
Except
culture,
worse, because he hurt my feelings.
it's truly him and all the shady, clout-chasing drama losers like him. Well, you like drama so much, congratulations, dipshit. Now you have some of your own. The only reason I ever took any of these people to court is because they don't know how to fuck off and leave people alone. Don't like it? Don't fuck
court?
with people's
What do you
livelihoods
mean?
and they won't fuck with yours.
Or what do you mean to
Justin-
court? Are you doing some sort of content cop meme policing?
Yes.
Asterios, Vice, and the phony progressives of Weber Shanwick can all go fuck themselves. So in conclusion, what have we learned? Unfortunately,
He
that
threw them
nothing
all
ever
in the
gets
garbage.
accomplished unless
Along with the new metal. The new metal went in the garbage
you make
earlier,
a big
too.
public stink about it. From having to bitch about customer service on social media to get remonetized on YouTube and to getting people to leave you the fuck alone, nothing ever gets done unless you go public. So part of the reason I'm making this video now is to let people know about some of the bullshit I've been dealing with for years now.
When I said he was stupid, I was the dumb one. It's obvious. People were starting to talk about Eric July instead of him.
Yeah, that's what I was saying
and
earlier.
He was missing all the attention. So he put this video out to get the attention back on him because there's no fucking way he thought bringing this to light was going to get people to stop talking about it.
I said
There's
he was
no
jealous of
absolute
Eric
fucking
July.
way.
So part of the fallout from all of this is that Justin Whang has now been exposed as an
that 1
unfunny
month
plagiarist,
ago
a joke
he
thief,
was having more people talk about him than today. That after a week after releasing this, there's zero fucking way.
and a hack. But of all his offenses, perhaps the most egregious one, and the one that's most unforgivable, is that he's part of a nu metal band. Don't forget to send me your tales from the internet videos. There's a lot more to this story, and maybe I'll tell it someday.
All right, so I wanted to tell the story of how I am blocked by Maddox. I am blocked by Maddox, and the story begins during the old days of DP. We had Maddox on as a guest, but before he was going to be on as a guest, before he agreed, he gave me 3 pages worth of words that he wanted blocked that couldn't show up in our Streamlabs or in our chat. A very long list. And I went ahead and put them in, okay? And what ended up happening was so many Streamlabs got blocked that I ended up having to just refund all of them. And we got a ton that night. But I refunded all of them because it would have taken forever to figure out which ones were legit and which ones weren't. So I was just like, whatever, we're refunding all of them. And here's a little clip from that This is one of the ones that actually got through, and it's funny because we comment on like, oh, this one actually got through.
Oh, here's one that came through. TJ, what would you do if Ben banged your ex from 3 years ago?
So they're asking a hypothetical question.
That's his prerogative. I ain't no lay no claim to that no more. Who fucking cares?
You don't give a fuck, dude. It's water under the fucking bridge. I mean,
I don't understand people who get mad if someone bangs their ex.
TJ, what if someone banged your ex from 10 years ago? Would you then be mad?
Well, yeah, obviously.
Slightly less.
It's our 10th anniversary.
I can't believe one came through all of a sudden.
That's pretty weird.
So, things ended up happening where like the lol suit shit kicked in, where he sued the guy that he stole the show from, probably to avoid being sued first. Like sometimes it's a race to who files suit first. And it was a ridiculous lawsuit, like $6 million or something like. He dropped it shortly after this episode. I think he might have even dropped it like later that night or something. And I was like, this is bullshit. Fuck this guy. So I went.
You guys had Dick on the next week, right?
Yes, and I went to the Dick Masterson Road Rage live event in 2018 and read the list of block words out loud, and that's why Maddox blocked me. I'm going to play a little bit of that. Full disclosure, this is 2018, and I may drop, because I was reading the list, okay? I may drop an N-bomb in this. Probably. I think I do drop an N-bomb in this, because I was listening to it earlier, and I was just reading the list. So, let's see.
Let's see. Hey, is Ben from the Drunken Peasants still here? Yeah, he's there. Man, are you? Yeah. Come on up. I didn't know he was here. Yeah, Lacey, could you get? Hey, oh man. Have a seat, please. No shit, Ben did nothing wrong, dude.
I did nothing wrong.
I was so worried when you started going down my path. I was like, oh no. Yeah, he's getting, I thought like you got, here's how I understood it. The podcast was shut down because Maddox was on.
That's not exactly what happened, but shortly after.
Sure, what shortly after?
Yeah, it was announced that the podcast was dead without my permission, is what happened.
Oh boy. That sounds familiar too. So that happened, and then I saw like a post saying you were getting locked out of accounts.
Yeah, I got locked out of everything, every account.
It's such a. Oh yeah, hold the mic up right up here.
Sorry.
Yes.
So, let's go to the list part. I was like, that wasn't me.
Did you?
No.
No.
The guy in the Mariners hat is asking if I'm the guy that shoved the banana up my ass. What the fuck?
Do it. There's not even a banana.
we got some bananas at the Airbnb.
How dare you? All we have is a banana.
I still get attacked with the banana shit. I had nothing to do with anything banana.
Are you hiding it up your ass right now? Is that how you got it in?
It just swallowed it.
We know you've been to the banana bar, Ben.
I have been to the banana bar. Is this the city I'm living in now? You know what? I said you should come to Seattle now. Never mind. People are saying fuck Bremerton.
Come to Seattle? Fuck
Bremerton?
Like you were saying, this uniform that you're wearing now, like that's like the Portland/Seattle uniform.
It feels great.
Yeah.
I don't know why more people aren't wearing it, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
You couldn't wear this in LA though. Really?
No.
Hold on.
And when he was on, people were doing super chats where they asked questions, and everybody was complaining that their super chat was not getting through.
Yeah, a lot of stuff got blocked.
So the theory was that there was some kind of a block censor list. Like everyone was saying, obviously there's some kind of block censor list.
I look so good behind that thing right there.
Can you confirm or deny that you guys had a...
I can definitely confirm that I was given a list of things to block.
By who who gave you this list, if you can say?
If the person who gave you this list has a name that's...
This guy was known as Maddox, and he was so fucking hilarious.
Very similar to
I don't know what happened to him, but he was insanely funny.
Just go ahead and blink twice. Yep, there you go. That was 2 blinks.
Can you share any of the list with us?
Oh, shit.
Can we?
What? Dick Show, The Dick Show, The Dick Show, TheDickShow.com, Dick Masterson, Team Dick. Yeah, you can say it here.
Team Dick?
Hashtag Team Dick, Masterson, Mad Cucks, Mad
Oh,
Cucks.
yeah, maybe
Mad
list.
Cucks with an X, Mad Cucks Rape List, Rape Apologist, 8chan, Dick Masterson, Cuck, Nigger. Oh, there it is, there it is. 8chan.net, Man Purse.
Man Purse?
Oh, I know why that's on there. I don't want to say.
Where's Dick?
Where's Dick? Was blocked?
What is a Kokinos?
Kokinos. That's the other guy being sued.
Oh, okay. Dick Show, Cuck Mass, Disavow, the best book in the universe. And that's Peach Saliva right there, and her name was on the list too. She was very shocked to know her name was on the list. Hashtag Dick. I like how they bleeped out the word that was included with the N-word, but left the N-word into it, and then bleep something after it. They cut it.
Didn't they bleep out street names that Maddox lived on?
I have no idea. I didn't know what I was saying. Is that what it was, Billy?
I'm pretty sure that's why Maddox says that you doxed him.
I have no idea. I was just reading a list of random words that seemed very random to me. Lies. Hashtag Dick DIK lies also. 30K. What's 30K?
Yeah, I know.
I'll tell you what. I'm not even in on it. Like, I don't even know.
So, according to Asterios Kokonos, Maddox spent $30,000 on his website.
Kendall?
Kendall and Hyde was an early sponsor of his show who ended up just stealing. They never made any products.
Adam Nash and hashtag Adam Nash.
This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable.
I'm going to come on your podcast.
Kendall. See, it goes full circle with Kendall.
Yes, but you can't say any of these words.
Yeah. I don't remember you giving me that.
No.
Yeah.
Do you know how long it must have taken him to write that?
It was really long. There's Dick Masterson with a 1 instead of an I in Dick. There's Dick. Justin? There's D1 CKM4 ST3 RSON.
Classic. That's what everybody's.
There's all kinds of number letter. There's like.
Any apostrophes?
No. Oh wait. Then I say the apostrophe and everyone freaks out.
Sean with the thinger.
There's an apostrophe in 80s girl. There's 80s girl without an apostrophe. And
there's more than that in her.
I didn't know who 80s girl was. There's more than that in her.
That's why they popped.
Yeah.
They didn't pop for the apostrophe. They popped because the thing with the apostrophe that you found was the thing that caused the entire split and Maddox's ultimate demise.
Yes, and that was on the list. And then there's 8 as A-T-E-A-S-E girl? A-T-E-A-S-E girl?
Oh, it's just like an 80s girl, but the word.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Dick is the winner. That was... Holy shit. Mental Jess?
That's Maddox's girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. There's all like different formations of mental Jess. O-U-Z-O-U-N-I-A-N? Oh, shit. There's your name right there.
Oh, yeah.
Restraining order.
Both peach and peach saliva.
Yeah. Restraining order.
Maddox's girlfriend has a restraining order on her for calling my girlfriend's school and trying to get her fired.
Oh, holy shit. And by the way, like Billy was there when this happened, and Jeff Holiday was there, but he was so drunk, he was like, "I'm gonna go get a burger," and he just never came back.
Yeah, he disappeared until the next day.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're catching me up on all this.
There's a rich history behind every word that he never wants to hear again.
What is this? Tell me. Job lynch mob? It's crazy to read a bunch of words that you don't even know what they mean and get like a pop from a big crowd every time you say something. It's kind of like magic.
Yeah.
And the last one
it's exactly like magic, except you're the only one that's not the magician. like they're laughing because you're the guy being like the joke, not the joke, the prestige is being used on. You're the guy that's not in on it.
Yeah,
they're all the magicians. And it's like you're the one guy to a room full of magicians.
And the last one is
I don't know.
He's like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, he's laughing because he knows. I'm pretty sure that's the home address.
I don't know.
And he's laughing. He's like, I don't know. Try this.
That's it. I mean, that's mostly it.
Yeah. The stuff that was bleeped out was street numbers and street names that Maddox's address was at.
Thank you for your service.
I spent the whole next day refunding everyone's Streamlabs and Super Chats.
That sucks, man. Sorry. Sorry, we have so much fun.
Yeah, I mean.
So you're okay now? What are you doing now? What's your new thing?
So that was that, and yeah, I was blocked by Maddox the next day.
Yeah, and then what else happened, Ben?
What?
Every time somebody that knew Maddox or Maddox knew would go on the show or meet you in a meetup in real life, he'd slide in their DMs say, "I want to warn you about that Ben guy from Drunken Peasants.
He's done it with multiple. It's funny. He's done it with multiple people, and almost all of them have told me about it. But because of it, like Rucka Ali wouldn't be like on a stream with me and that kind of shit. Because I guess Maddox is friends with Rucka Ali.
Yeah, they're buddies. It was weird because like when I met Maddox, like he had to have known I do the show with you, and he had to have known. But he was like really sweet and nice to me, which makes me think maybe he was trying to be sweet and nice to me so he could steal me from you, Ben, and we would start our own podcast.
Okay. Well, he said he doesn't like two-faced people, so you know he's being two-faced.
Well, so I don't think he understands he's being two-faced, or he is so deep in it. It's like maybe he wasn't being two-faced with me. Maybe he differentiated me and you from the actions you did too. And there's no way he could have that conversation with me because I obviously know you well enough to know, and probably to even know the reference to him saying that you doxed him. It's like, no, he read off a list of shit that you told him not to have in the donos. And there was some numbers and street names in there.
I had no idea there were street names.
Addresses. You had no idea about anything on that list. You didn't know who 80s Baby was. You didn't know any of that. So, of course, you wouldn't know. Sycamore could...
Oh, my God, dude. Oh, my God, dude. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Street names could have been anything.
Oh my God, dude. I was trying to avoid talking about that at all, and you talked yourself into like saying some shit. What the hell?
What do you mean? What do you mean? It could have been anything.
What do you mean?
It could have been anything. But it could have been anything. When you read it, it could have been anything.
I know. It could have been anything.
Well, that was fun. So yeah, he does this video on Whang and Asterios, and he's saying in the video that he's doing this to shut them down, to keep them from harassing him. But I cannot believe that the exact opposite didn't happen. The exact opposite.
What is this video? Oh, that's just the same thing. Yeah, we already watched that. These Puma fist videos are crazy.
What's up, witches and warlocks? Why should we listen to any scientist about climate change when they can't even tell us what a woman is? Puma fist out.
That's Puma fist.
That's Puma fist?
Yeah, that's Puma fist. I don't know if that's him in the picture. I don't know if that's him in the picture, but that was him talking just now.
R.I.P. Puma fist. You will be missed.
Gina Carano calls out Hollywood reporters Richard Newby as a journalist who sold out America and exposes utter ignorance. Terror on the Prairie actress and former The Mandalorian star Gina Carano recently ripped into the Hollywood reporters Richard Newby, calling him a sellout journalist and claiming that he sold out America. Carano's comments came after Newby asserted he would never stop laughing at the fact that Carano could have had her own Star Wars series. She was going to. Toys, she already had them. Book, comics, and apparel. She already had the apparel. It's actually, I'm pretty sure Disney still sells the apparel for Cara Dune. He added, quote, "She was that close. She didn't just fumble the bag. She dumped it out, put it over her head, and
fumble my bag.
The air supply." Newby's comments were in response to a user claiming that Carano's Terror on the Prairie film only earned $804 at the box office when it only had one showing, was exclusively released on Daily Wire Plus. That just shows the utter ignorance of this person.
The utter ignorance, like cow titty ignorance. The utter
Point blank
ignorance.
Period. Caught in 4K. You're so stupid. Shut up. And we got the tweet here. Despite working for the Hollywood Reporter, Newby would seemingly be unaware that Terror on the Prairie released exclusively on Daily Wire.
Did he say seemingly? Instead of
seemingly, yeah.
Seemingly? Seemingly. Yeah. I think Brett Keane says that too. Seemingly.
Plus, at least at the time. In response to a user claiming that none of Carano's supporters bought a ticket to see the film, Newby replied, quote, "Because they're not really supporters." This person says, "She's got a lot of supporters, none of whom will buy a ticket to see your movie, though, because they're not really supporters." See, now, that's incorrect. A lot of people signed up for Daily Wire Plus just because they brought on Gina Carano and brought back her career and put her in this movie, and they wanted to see her act in this movie. So that's 100% incorrect. Carano responded to Newby's comments, writing, quote, "Here's a contributor of the Hollywood Reporter who repeatedly joins in an online mob of mostly anonymous accounts harassing me." She then informed him that about Terror on the Prairie's exclusive release on Daily Wire Plus. Quote, "Are you aware that we released Terror on the Prairie exclusively on the Daily Wire and you didn't know that? Or are ignorance and spreading hate your only purpose here?" I would say he's 100% ignorant, low IQ, and yes, he's probably just on here to spread hate.
He just described himself.
The guy's ignorant and low IQ.
And here to spread hate.
He said the guy's ignorant, low IQ, here to spread hate. There you go. Sturgis, right again. The king killer.
Carano then addressed Newby's claims that she fumbled the bag. She wrote, "I didn't fumble the bag, I just didn't go along with the sellout narrative. The online mob couldn't handle that, so they petitioned to have me fired and won." Yes, because Disney is a trash company and they wanted her to sit in front of a bunch of trans people and apologize to them for supposedly offending them, which she did not do. It's 100% what she did not do. And I've met Gina Carano in real life.
How could she offend trans kids when they don't exist? She didn't offend them. They don't exist.
very sweet person. She
Trans kids are like the John Cena of kids. You can't see them.
seems extremely happy now that she.
I stood in line for a picture with her at a con. She's a very sweet person.
Yeah.
She probably is a very sweet person, but you don't fucking know her, dude.
No.
You stood in a line for a picture with her at
And
a
he
con.
paid for it.
You don't know her, dude.
Wire over being at the trash company that is Disney. She then went after Nubius, describing him as a sellout journalist and one who sold out America. Carano tweeted, quote, "The genuine bag fumble is sellout journalists like you who sold out America and stopped asking questions to be liked by a fickle, manipulated mob. This is what you valued, and that will be your legacy," Carano proclaimed. Which, by the way, I didn't even know who this person was until he said all this crap to Gina Carano, which I'm pretty sure in real life, she would probably knock him the fuck out. And he would never say anything.
Everyone's-
My bad.
Everyone Sturgis likes is just so tough it could beat anyone up. Now, Gina Carano was an MMA fighter, so she probably can kick a lot of people's ass, surprisingly. But Sturgis does this with Eric July, who isn't like He-Man exactly. He's more like Moss Man.
Your opinions of these people don't matter because in my mind, they could probably beat you up.
Yeah, exactly.
To her face. She then informed her followers that Newbie blocked her.
I have an. I don't know if I still have it, but I used to have an Ohio shirt like that where it's written in script, because the Ohio State marching band, when they come out onto the field, they write Ohio like that. It's really crazy because they walk through each other and write it and no one runs into each other. They do it like each step is like perfectly choreographed. It's crazy shit.
Yeah, that's choreography.
It's like perfect. And you're talking about like
they
how many
practice.
people? Yeah, dude, being in that marching band is the craziest marching band you could be in. It's just like it's so elaborate.
Did you see the fucking Chinese Olympics? What they were doing? That shit was psychotic. The Chinese Olympics.
What was it, like acrobat shit?
Their field work? No, when they were using humans to spell out shit on the field, made Ohio look like
fired back
kids
at him.
with
I mean,
crayons.
You're so competitive.
Look at this guy. This guy is hideous.
If I say I like something, you have to be like, "Well, I saw something better than that."
It wasn't that you, Ben.
Okay,
Ben, it
yeah,
wasn't
it's
that
fine.
you liked
It's
it.
fine.
You
It's
said
fine.
you said it was the best,
It's fine.
or none. And I said,
Billy.
if you think that's the best,
It's so great to have you back.
You should recall the Chinese Olympics.
Thank you.
Like I wasn't saying.
Okay, I'd rather listen to Renowned
discredit-
Zero instead of you
liking
right
it.
now. Sorry, I'd rather listen to Sturgis rather than you.
Priesty Gym podcast to her Instagram stories. It read, quote, "Jews were beaten in the streets."
Maybe
not
you
by
know what? Pull up the
WW2
Chinese
soldiers, but by
Olympics.
their
Pull up
neighbors.
Pull up the Ohio
featured
State
a
doing
quote that
it.
stated, "No,
Let's do it. Let's have a competition right now. Let's look at the Chinese Olympics and the Ohio State.
I don't know if the
and see
Chinese
which one is
Olympic
more
shit is
impressive.
copyrighted, and I think it's stupid, and I don't want to get roped into more of your dumb shit like this. I don't want to do it.
WW2
This is
soldiers
entertaining.
could easily round up thousands
Sure.
of Jews. The government first made their own.
It's
neighbors
better
hate
to
them
have a
simply for being
competition and vote and have the audience weigh in. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're right. I haven't seen Ohio State. I just thought the Chinese Olympics was psychotic.
Which Chinese
Maybe
Olympics?
Ohio is better.
Which Chinese Olympics? There's been several Olympics in China.
Here, I'll find the Chinese Olympics.
And when I said they were, I meant the best at being a marching band, like a university marching band. Out of all the collegiate marching bands out there, they're the best one. They're people who don't get paid to do it. They just do it, and they have to go to classes and be like a regular student, and then they basically work full time for free to be in a marching band. I wasn't comparing it to other shit, just like marching bands.
Yeah,
so it's an apple and
marching
orange
band
comparison.
in China was nuts.
Okay.
But I can't find it anyways. We'll have to do that in the future.
So, I guess I'll play this for you since you wanted to see it.
Yes.
This was recorded like 10 years ago, so it might not be. They're doing like a video game themed halftime show. And they got to play their instruments while they do all this shit. Like every person out here, except for the person leading them, is playing an instrument.
That's Pokemon?
Yep.
That's Pikachu.
I want to point out right now that Billy Fridge is clearly not paying attention, too. He said he was the best at paying attention on this show, but he's clearly looking at something else right now.
One, I saw Pikachu. I saw Tetris.
You're not
and
watching.
Two, I found the Beijing clip that I sent you.
Sure, and
So
it's
it's
probably I probably even watched it. It's not the same thing, though. This is like a college, like a university marching band. Like people playing
Swell
instruments.
shank.
It's not even comparable.
We'll see if it's comparable. Hey! They're gonna hit those.
Yeah, there's a little Mario and a little Luigi, but they're so small. It's hard to even see them.
They got the star. They got the star.
Someone said, it's Jumpman. That's some hipster shit.
What game is that? Is that Metroid? What is that?
I think it might be Halo related. Or is it Legend of Zelda? I can't remember. They go into it here. Oh no, it is Halo. This stadium holds like 110,000 people. It's crazy.
Halo. It's Halo.
Sometimes I wonder if they have like metronomes in their ears.
I think they just practice with the people next to them.
This
And it
one's
all comes
crazy.
together.
Because they form a horse and they make the horse run. And they do it pretty well.
Like they all have to be trained to step in place the entire way through. This isn't like that crazy, really, when you realize every person is trained to be a pixel, basically.
Yeah.
And it's like doing a dance, but it's a dance over the course of the entire field.
And playing an instrument at the same time.
Like this is awesome altogether. But like if you took one person at a time, there's obviously people who are a step or two off. But it doesn't matter because of how awesome it is altogether. It works perfectly. This is a case where the sum is greater than the individual by far. I get that BoJack Horseman reference. They listen to the drum line. It's kind of like a metronome. Is that Homer Simpson?
I want to see the part where they do the
game over.
Okay. This was like the 100th anniversary of the sports program there.
Hundo P.
I want to see the part where they form the... They're going to form the thing I was talking about that started this whole conversation. They start off as like a big rectangle, and then they like... This is the part where they can't really miss a step because they'll run into each other. They start like crossing through each other because they write it in cursive.
Yeah.
And the tuba player always dots the I. One of the tuba players.
I like how they have to formulate the inkwell. They have to just stay in the box to create the inkwell before the ink drips out with the marching.
Yeah, where they cross right through.
he had to twist in a little bit. Someone bumped shoulders there. They have their horns down as they walk through because they can't fuck up. They have to be that tight. So they put their shit down so they can all see. When they come through there. And they duck right back up into it when they're free.
And they're gonna
get
cross
about one step away to drop. He had to turn his shoulder in. Now they're breaking off. Oh, yeah, they break off when they get in the knot and they reconfigure there? Or no, they twist off. Okay.
They're writing it upside down, so it's upside down to us because they're writing it for the crowd on the other side. So you can see the O on the right and the H, and now they're making the... No, it's Ohio in script.
Oh. It looked like they typed an N in the chat and then an I in the chat, and I was like, you better not, Ohio. You better not.
And now they go to dot the I.
This is literally how everyone in Ohio learned how to spell Ohio.
No, you say it's high in the middle and round on each side.
Like a fat girl on weed.
So this is from the 2008 Olympics, which
This is the Beijing Olympics. Probably going like a minute 40 on this.
Sure, and this is something totally different. This is not even comparable to a university marching band.
What they were doing was like 8-bit. And what they're doing here at the Olympics is like high def.
And they're not playing instrument. They're just like choreographed dancers. It's not a band. It's not a marching band. They're just like choreographed dancers.
Yeah, but as far as precision goes and human,
I was talking about marching bands.
Psychotic.
Bob, yeah, we're back here.
Yeah, but what they're doing is a similar thing.
You're fucking impossible, dude.
Who lived 2,500 years ago in an unbelievably chaotic time in Chinese history known as the Spring and Autumn.
So watch these people in the middle here.
Around giving advice to leaders.
There's the dancing going on the outside.
How to have harmony in a society.
They're playing the music on the outside here.
Scrolls, if anyone asks the question, what's significant about holding the Olympics in
China? This is an Olympics opening ceremony. It's like choreography.
Oh, by the way, the Chinese invented paper and printing, and that's actually true here.
It's like telling the story of Chinese invention here. This is the paper scroll coming out.
Giving way, piece by piece. And then
maybe you can fast forward a little more and get it when it's actually like going, because when it starts going, it's nuts.
Yeah, I remember watching.
These are all people under boxes, right?
Yeah.
Pass across his subjects with the
they're all like digital human pixels. It's nuts. They're like little kids in lanterns raising these waves. It's so nuts.
Minute precision.
And there is the Chinese character for harmony, which will make a number of
like that person who fucked up over there probably got murdered by the Chinese government.
And a core political.
They're like, you fucked up, dead pixel, dead human.
Constantly about the harmonious society.
That's right. The idea of a 和谐社会 or a harmonious society really right at the heart of Chinese political doctrine at the moment.
Glad you said that.
Here, by the way, is another image that evokes that same tradition. The notion of drops of water spilling onto an empty pond.
It's just like
stillness.
It's ridiculous that there's humans inside of all of us doing this shit.
Also appears,
it's so crazy.
In Taoist and the Buddhist traditions as a mark of inner peace leading to external peace.
Have you ever gone to a Cirque du Soleil show?
Yes.
It's like 4 or 5 people at a time doing this level of precision stuff. And this is like obviously not as dangerous as a lot of this stuff, but goddamn, this is just nuts. This is so crazy to think those are people doing that. The training and fucking everything that goes into that. Crazy.
Then there's the character for Harmony again. You know, one of the unusual things about spending so much time talking about harmony in China today is there are so many profoundly disharmonious things here in a way, the challenges with the environment, with urbanization and so forth. So this is really representing an ideal.
The outside is digital, like the 2 squares on the outside is digital, but everything in the middle is just fucking box dancers and shit. It's crazy. Yeah. Anyways, that was the moment in time where I was like, oh my God, they're not like, this is crazy human programming. Like a marching band is hella impressive.
Sure.
It's really cool, really good. But when I saw this, I was like, this is nuts. This is
when
robotic.
you brought up something, I thought you were going to show me like another marching band, and this is not a marching band.
No,
this is like something
this
totally
is because you
different.
were saying how like you were saying how crazy the human precision was for them to pull off the marching band.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh God, have you seen the Chinese Olympic shit? Because like that's what triggered this idea here was that this is like probably. It's just like we say now, this is like the peak of human like digital performance where you become.
I've seen other stuff similar to this
pixels.
too. Like
there's tons of stuff, but this is like are the marching bands. What you were explaining is humans as pixels. This is humans as pixels as well. And I'm trying to think if like 100 years, because marching bands have been popping for 100 years. 100 years from now,
longer than that. Marching bands used to be part of like the military. Like there was a time like in colonial times, marching bands were part of the military. They helped keep the beat that like different units in the military would march to. And a lot of marching bands also have what's called a color guard, where they wave flags and they'll like juggle rifles, and that goes back to like old military stuff too. So yeah,
all I'm saying
you were trying to compete with me, and
John
you just
Cena was not compete.
You were
not
you
compete.
were. You're a very competitive man.
I simply
you are. It's okay.
Then go back and find out what you said, because I wasn't competing at all. Because you said that's like the peak of human performance.
I didn't say that. I said they're the best marching band.
And I said, yeah.
I didn't say the peak of human performance. You're so full of shit. It's unbelievable.
Have you seen what the Chinese did? Have you seen what the Chinese did at the Olympics?
I did not say peak of or human or performance. I did not use any of those words. I said they're the best marching band.
Word.
Not at all. You're so full of shit, dude. You are unbelievably full of shit.
No, I'm not at all. Literally not. You simply said something was a great human performance, and I said that reminds me of a great human performance at the Chinese Olympics. Could you imagine what, like, this was a moment where I saw this.
Are you farting into your microphone now?
I was actually baffled.
Okay, cool. Cool story.
Baffled.
Cool story.
It's like you're making this to be a competition. I wasn't trying to make it be a competition. Actually, I did say let's have a competition.
Yeah, you literally said that. You literally said that.
That was after you said I was trying to have a competition.
Shut up. I said
let's make it a competition.
You're contradicting yourself more than Jared right now. You're doing this like, I didn't say have a competition, but actually I did. Dude, you're so full of shit.
Because I said it later on. I said let's actually turn this into a competition. I advanced the conversation to a complexity worthy of competition.
Yeah.
When I made the reference to
turn
how
it into something great
China
you did.
was,
That's cool. Yeah.
It's not turning
it's all
into
part
anything.
of the
if
cycle.
You look at the timeline. If you look at the timeline,
it wasn't that I did this. I did something really cool and great.
You literally accused me of making it a competition. So what did I do? I made it a competition. I took your accusation and made it a moment of brilliance. I made it a moment of brilliance. And now look at this. 28 minutes in, and we've covered almost as much ground as Maddox did when he was dumping on Wang. It's perfect. Like Dylan DePickle says, I'm literally the least competitive human in history, and I will compete to prove it. Fact. And like I said, John Cena was right.
All right. Everyone,
Great
please.
to be back on Drunken Peasants.
Yeah.
I missed you guys.
Everyone,
I missed you
please
guys.
like the stream if you haven't already. Well, we're open up for one last tip train if you want to help out. Please send us one last tip train. Say whatever you want to say. Also want to remind everyone that we do a pre-show. We have a pre-show before every episode. And the last two were pretty good. There was one that had Hannibal and Monty on it, and the one before had Jeff Holiday on it. And there's a link in the description. You can check it out if you would like to. It's great. And yeah, I'll leave it open for one last tip train. Let me see now. You know what? I got so much stuff we didn't get to, but I'll just save it for next time. We're doing the show tomorrow instead of Saturday, so if you guys keep your calendar open, the show is tomorrow instead of Saturday. Same time. Same regular time, but on a Friday. Tomorrow. If you have to work late tomorrow, who knows? It might just still be going on by the time you get off work. Who knows? Sometimes they run late. So we'll see.
It's Friday. Gotta come out on Friday.
All right, guys. I think we're going to wrap this up. We will see you all tomorrow. See you then.
Good night.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet, gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready, cause they're gonna kick your... Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants.